Otter Player Podcast episode number 5. And oh boy, lots of happened this week. First off, State of Play, they delivered, they absolutely did. We're gonna talk about it. Xbox Physical getting killed? Oh boy, between that and in between another quote unquote rumor, or actually now confirmed, that now there is almost like t shirt skins for hi fi on PlayStation. Hey, clock is ticking, tick tock. But let's jump to the intro first. Weeb, how are you, man? And how is Infant Wealth treating you?
I'm good. Yeah, it's given me everything I hoped for. It's the premium Yakuza or Like a Dragon experience. I mean, I'm wasting a shit ton of time just doing all the side quests and side activities, so I'm not actually making much progress in the story. I'm still at chapter 3, but I mean, it's so good. So I mean, I'm just gonna savor it.
I see. Um, Morgan, how are you and what you been playing?
I'm good. I'm good. Shit. What haven't I been playing? I've been dipping my toe in everything because unfortunately this is gaming month. Every single year it seems like February. You know, the January through March months are just packed with games.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I am in between Grand Link Blue Fantasy, which a game I'm freaking loving right now.
Nice.
Amazing. I'm having a grand old time with that. Action is great. I'm liking the story. I'm intrigued to go on to see what happens, and I like my character. I enjoy, the feeling of my party coming in and conquering through. I really like the end combo moves, the fuse. It's just really satisfying game so far. So I'm
How far
enjoying
are
it.
you?
I think I'm like chapter 4 or 5. I can't remember, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um,
So how
but I
does
kind
it feel to be playing co-op? Because I know you can play co-op.
yeah, we only play co-op for a little while, because the co-op isn't for the main quest. It's for like side quests.
Side quest only, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it felt just as good as it did in the demo, so that's good. I have to go back and play some more because there's apparently like a ton of quests, like even more so than the main story.
Yeah, like
So
80%
like
of it, according to what everybody's saying, is co-op playable.
yeah, so there's like a lot that I've unlocked since going through the, like, I guess you unlock the co-op side quest as you continue through the main game, and
Mm-hmm.
I've unlocked like a lot. So I have to go back eventually and play with Nate. But I've also been playing or started Persona 4 Golden. Um it's first of all it's a beautiful game. Watch a little startup, reel. It's 4K 60 with ray tracing on PS5
So
and
you
Xbox.
meant
Wait,
Persona 3.
Persona 4?
She meant
I mean,
Persona
Not
3
Persona
Persona
3.
Reload.
3?
She
I'm
meant
sorry, Persona
Persona
3.
3 Reload.
Persona 3 Gold. Yeah, 3 Reload. I'm so sorry, y'all.
No,
My
you're good.
mind is full with Persona right now.
Yeah.
Um, Persona 3 Golden. Yeah, it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. The UI itself is like the transitions within the different like the start screens, the pause screens, like the different menus is just the splash screens are amazing.
They really
Yeah,
are
Um,
Persona have always been flashy, right?
yeah, yeah, this one definitely
exceptional.
took it to another level. The actual like the actual game, like the lighting, like it kind of dwindles in certain areas, like it in certain settings it's not the greatest, but then others you can tell they went all out. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the unevenness of the lighting in some areas, but when it hits. uh but they did a great job with the transitions between the different, like, the cut scenes, like the anime-esque cut scenes, the regular cut scenes, the actual gameplay and moving around, it feels so smooth. I could tell it's like definitely like a lock 60 FPS. Smooth as hell. This is my first time playing Persona 3, so it's a new experience for me. I'm enjoying the story. I like the character, but I haven't gotten too far yet. I think I'm at my first quote unquote. I don't even know if they refer to it because they we haven't even gotten far in the area, but my first castle or dungeon or whatever they want to call it in this game. So I haven't had my first real boss battle, but the little intro tutorial battle I did, it felt very reminiscent of Persona 5, which is also always good because I love Persona 5's combat. But I'm enjoying it thus far, so it's great. But I'm also trying to finish Persona 5 at the same time because I want to plat that, and I'm always a big Persona 5 proponent. And I'm playing the remaster of that, so that's on 60 FPS, 4K as well. No ray tracing though, but still
Oh,
beautiful game.
interesting.
Yeah, I think they went all out on the other one because it's a remake. So, what else? I still haven't finished Prince of Persia, which I need to get back to. I got stuck on one particular part.
Are you still stuck?
Yeah, but I'm stuck not because I've been continually playing it, but whenever I was stuck, I didn't go back and try to get unstuck. Like that couple weeks ago when I was stuck, I never went back to try to figure it out. But yeah, I need to get back on that and finish it because that's a great game. And there's just the longer I wait, the more games are gonna pile up.
Yeah.
So I have to do something, but I am
just beat it. Like, don't finish any side quest. Just beat it and call it a day. Move away from it.
I know. And then, of course, I'm playing The Last of Us 2 Remastered as well, which shouldn't even be a priority since I've already played it, but I love The Last of Us so much, so I started replaying the main game again for part 2.
I can't comprehend that. Like, if we were in quiet month, understandable. But we're in one of the most busiest months, and you're playing. Nah.
I couldn't help myself. It's just too. It's too pretty
now.
now.
That's how good The Last of Us is. You
Yeah.
already know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my struggles for this week. But hopefully by next week I'll have finished at least one game. But probably not, knowing me. But yeah, that's all I got to say.
I see. Nelson, my man, how are you? What you been playing?
I've been better, to be honest. Like, I've had a couple bad weeks. I haven't been playing as much as usual. Well, sickness, stress, and vehicle S now. But yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Grand Blue. I'm gonna get back to that tonight. I've been pretty depressed about my car taking a shit, so.
Yeah, that'll do that to you.
Stressed out. Yeah, because we need 2 vehicles with 2 people in the house, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's been stressful because that just happened Friday on my way to pick up my kids, which was also stressful.
Yeah,
so.
That's.
It's been a stressful couple weeks.
It's hard to game when you got a lot going on, so I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, Grand Blue's fantastic for the couple hours I've gotten to play it.
I played it. I feel you with this one.
It's good.
Okay. Nate, how are you? What you been playing?
Yeah, like Morgan said, it's more so what I haven't, which is, I mean, really to say the only thing I guess that we didn't get is Infinite Wealth, and that was largely because I refused to pick up a game in which I hadn't finished the prequel to, especially one that's story heavy in the way that one is, and I did finish Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
So, you did? Congratulations. How was it?
Thank you. Yeah, it was phenomenal. The story just got better and better.
Did you sleep on it?
No, I literally had it since day one. I was just busy.
So
like I got like halfway through the game, like when I originally got it, and then just game after game after game, Yeah, I just had it on the side for a while. I went back, picked it up, just jumped right back into it. Which it wasn't too bad to jump back into. A lot of games are like tough, but the spot that I stopped at, I was really powerful already, so it wasn't hard to go back and continue.
Mm.
The story is
I did
100% worth it though.
I did hear that the ending is a grind. Is that the
I
case
didn't
or
I
not?
didn't I didn't have that problem, but that's because I'm a beast and I knew how to prepare
This
ahead of
man.
time.
Okay.
So yeah, I did not have to grind at all. I just walked in the front door and beat their ass. That's what I did. But
Because you outgrinded, right?
I
It's
did I used some side tactics to get ahead
Ah,
of the
okay.
game. But I like to do my
I see.
research. So some people don't
it's
want to do
it,
their research.
it's not
I
it's
see.
not
I
a
see.
not a grind unless you want to get the plat.
Yeah, yeah. Now
Okay,
later
I see.
later if you want to go for like the super mega levels and stuff like yeah, then you're gonna
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
This one.
But beating it, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
I
have to grind.
see.
So
Okay. I
yeah,
see. I see.
the like I said, the story was phenomenal. 100% glad to play it. I like I, honestly, I just can't see enjoying Infinite Wealth without that story. You have to understand the character development that Ichiban goes through, the shit he goes through, the shit that he
And this is why I haven't touched it yet. Like I'm dying. Like I'm dying, dying, dying to touch
Me
it.
either, because I have to catch up in the series. I started a couple of years ago. I've played 7 of them, but I can't just play Yakuza games forever. You know what I
Actually,
mean? I need to
but
space them
I
out.
wanna.
Mm.
So here is the thing. There is.
Why not? Why not?
Here is the thing.
Why not? Because they're long as shit. That's why.
No. So here is
Yeah,
the
Weeb
thing.
loves it.
it's the best franchise ever made.
Yeah. Nah, we're not gonna clap like that. Combat is terrible. We're not gonna do that. If
Yeah.
you want
So
evolution,
so
play
so.
judgment.
I'm sorry, sir. Can you repeat that? What did you say?
Yeah, I said
What?
combat is terrible. Like it doesn't get evolved
Okay.
whatsoever. And I'm playing it.
Can we boot Omar from this podcast?
No, you can't. You can't. You can't put the owner of the podcast from the podcast. That
Because I
doesn't work.
I don't stand for this slander.
I feel
Okay,
you.
but here's the thing. The reason why I am playing it from the beginning, cause I wanna genuinely see who is better, Kiryu or Ishiben. Cause I have heard both talk about it. Who is the better character? And I'm curious which one it is.
I mean,
So far,
I
Kiryu.
don't think you're going to come out with a
Well,
better
Kiryu's got
character.
7 games
I think you're just
and
going
two
to
games versus or what? 3 games versus
The
7. No.
the answer to your question is Majima.
yeah.
Ah,
I think you're just gonna run into the fact that you're just gonna like who you're gonna like. I mean,
the Mad
it's
Dog.
not a matter of someone being better.
Damn. This dude shows the side character of the main character. Nah.
My man, have you played Zero?
Yeah, I played Zero.
So
Zero's my
why are you
favorite
calling it?
by far.
Why are you calling him a side character then?
Because after Zero, he's not the main
Mm,
character anymore.
mm.
My man, you haven't played jack shit.
I
You
played
play-
Zero, and I'm playing 2, and I know there is a.
So you didn't play 3, 4, 5.
No, I haven't. But I'm
Okay.
talking. Okay. But here's the thing. With Majima is a cool dude. I'm not gonna lie. He is exciting. It's just. I don't know. He feels. Um. They don't let him go all out. Because they know if he let him go all out, nuclear war happens. But that's a topic for another day.
Mm. Then you haven't played Dead Souls yet.
Dead Cell?
Dead Souls.
Dead Souls. No, that I haven't.
No. Then you
Okay.
should play that one.
I'm gonna absolutely play them all before touching Ishiben, trust me.
I mean, that's gonna
Ishiben
take forever.
franchise.
You.
Ishiben franchise, hey, screw off. Now going back to it, as what I have been playing.
I wasn't done.
Oh, you wasn't done, I apologize. Go
Bad.
ahead,
Did
finish.
you?
Rude motherfucker, huh?
I said one thing, and then it was
Went
just
on
like,
a tangent about Yakuza.
yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
man.
I was like, excuse me, sir. but no, like I said, yes, I finished Like a Dragon, so eventually I will pick up Infinite Wealth. I know people are foaming at the mouth out here that are playing it and going crazy, but I'm okay. Um, like I said, I still got plenty of progress to make in Grand Blue, which is probably going to be the next one I push on because quite a few
Mm-hmm.
people have finished the story in that one. So I know that we can both push through the story and get to the point where we can really start pushing out some of these quests and get to the higher level. Because apparently, the ultimate difficulty, which is how you run through it later, if you want to push for the platinum, which potentially, depending on how annoying that is, we'll see. Um, you got to get to the point where you beat the game first to unlock ultimate, and apparently, a lot of stuff you need to be level 100 to fight a lot of the bosses. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, I got to see the best way to go about that and stuff. So again, that's why I say I think I really want to push on that because that'll be another game that we can get completed under our belt. Honestly, probably before the weekend is over, from what I understand. So I think that'll be the next game. And then of course, like she said, we both started Persona 3 Reload, which again just can't state enough how beautiful this game is. It looks ridiculous. The 4K 60 ray tracing is crazy. I'm really enjoying it a lot. I do hear what some people are talking about with the soundtrack though, is they redid some of the songs unnecessarily for it, and I guess they used a new singer, and it's off putting a bit when you've heard the original, and you're like, wait a minute, that sounds a little off. So I agree with a lot of people. I was like, I don't really think it was necessary for them to redo the music um, in that particular regard, but
Maybe copyright?
no, it's not copyright. They're the same songs. It's just they
Mm.
just redid them, for the actual game. But I don't really think it was necessary. I think the old song with the original singer would have been fine, but for whatever reason they did it. But it's fine. I mean, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
ruin anything. It's just different when you've heard the original.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then uh, I've also been playing through the series that you always hear me playing, which is Super Robot Wars. So of course I platinum
I
Super
knew it.
Robot
This
Wars
dude.
30 last year. So eventually Super Robot Wars T went on sale for PlayStation, so I picked that up and I've been playing through that to completion. Probably going to go for the platinum for that, and a few other things here and there.
Here
I've
and
also
there.
played Pal World. I was playing that with Priscilla the other night, so I'm not super far in that either, but it's all right. It's not bad. But yeah, that's probably about it.
Okay. As for me, so I love Metrovania. So
Absolutely.
I started
No, really?
Yakuza Kiwami 2, and I
I
went to
hate y'all, man.
chapter 8, and I started Grime as a throwaway game. Like, a throwaway game in the sense of I play it mid podcast or mid listening to a podcast or something like that. So I don't do story progression. And Grime story, I have absolutely zero idea what it's about. But the gameplay, the platforming, the boss fight, the combat, top tier. One of the best, if not the best parry I have ever experienced next to Ghost of Tsushima. The parry in that game, you gotta be on point or you're not gonna get it. And when you get it, it's so satisfying. And what makes it even better is parrying is how you beat most bosses. Heck, I think parrying is how you can only beat the final boss, if I'm correct. So that's number one. Number two, I'm super excited because Grime 2 is announced this year or last year, I think. And the gameplay that I saw with Grime 2, like, dude, the year is for a year of Metrovania for me. Speaking about Metrovania, I wish pains me that I'm about to say this. So, who remember Tales of Kanzara? Zao, the gang with the dude, with the African dude, with his mourning his brother, his father. Yeah. So I played the demo for it, and let's just say, mm, I don't. Okay, I don't think it's gonna rival Prince of Persia.
I mean, you're talking about a AAA publisher versus
I
an
mean,
indie outfit.
I played top. Okay, so let me say this. I don't think it's gonna rival time something time. I forgot what's called. It's a Metroidvania where you can rewind time.
Oh
I
Lord.
don't. I've played better Metroidvanias than this one. Maybe because not early access, just a demo, and they're gonna improve on it. But if this is the final product, um, I it feels it. How do I say this? Would be while being polite. It's an indie.
Okay.
Like one indie is not enough for it. It's a double A indie, not a triple A indie. That's
What?
how what you call it low budget it have, which I was surprised because on during the screen it's showcasing something so cool, and
I
then
don't
you
know. I'm
play
just
it.
gonna have to play it for myself because you have a very different reaction to this game than everybody else I've seen play it. So I'm just gonna
Okay,
have to check it out for myself.
check it out to yourself. Because from what I
You know,
played, I
Omar
don't
be
know.
extra picky when it comes to his Metrovanias.
How is
Yeah, I
it
was.
extra
Yeah,
Yeah.
picky
You
when
you
it's
are.
literally a
he,
Metrovania game though?
You
almost a
have some.
Metroidvania connoisseur.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, he be having a
What?
high bar.
Omar out here like Hell's Kitchen with the. What is it? Take
Gordon
that
Ramsay
back.
with
Oh
it.
Take that
man,
back. It's raw. Take
It's
it back.
raw.
It's
it's
raw.
it's absolutely raw. Take it back to the kitchen. That's what it is.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we know. We
speaking
need that
of
soundbite for Omar.
You right.
speaking of raw, let's jump to the very first topic, which is
Wait,
going
wait a
to
sec
yeah,
here.
which is going to
Well,
be Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown has underperformed, only 300,000 players so far, which um pains me because this game was amazing. I would even say GOTY level of amazing. Um,
mm,
Did Ubisoft say underperformed, or that is that just the numbers that they gave?
I mean 300, um, three hundred
That's pretty
thousand,
obviously underperformed. That's nothing.
especially for a AAA game.
it's
Would you
not a
would
triple A
would you
game
consider that a
though.
AAA game?
Sorry,
Would you consider that a AAA game?
yeah,
No, it's not.
Nope.
is it not?
No.
No.
No, no
It,
way in hell it's
yeah, it
triple
It
A.
does
was
have a
more than
pub.
9 million. It was more than the $9 or $12 million or something they brought in. Though I guarantee it cost more than that.
Do we know? So do we know the back? So what is triple? What is considered AAA then?
If you spend $100 million on developing a game, that's triple A. This didn't cost
Mm,
$100 million.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just
I
not.
don't
It's just
know.
not indie because they have a publisher. Like they.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's still
But
Yeah,
like
but yeah, but you can
a
still
double
call it
A.
double A.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
double A.
Okay. So here's the thing. The entire conversation that I was seeing people talk about is $50 is too big for an for a TD platformer, in my opinion. And that same conversation was happening during Metroid Prime, the 2D
No,
one.
Metroid Dread.
Metroid Dread, thank you. Um,
And
so yeah,
it's a bullshit argument because you're literally saying because of the genre, the game doesn't deserve that price. I mean, I'd say it's
yep.
fair. I'd say this game is it's fair because it's definitely lengthy enough to warrant the price. The problem is that most people compare this to Metroidvania that are the most Metroidvania games are indie games and they're not that long. So of course they're not priced accordingly. So it is comparing apples and oranges. It's bullshit. And the thing is with Metroid Dread, I had that discussion, the same discussion back then. I said this is a premium franchise, right? There's no fucking way Nintendo's going to sell that at a budget price, which it didn't need because the game was lengthy enough to warrant that price and had production values that warranted that price. But the thing is, like, you're not gonna do you're not gonna sell Mario or Zelda for I don't know for $10, right? You're not gonna sell make a God of War game for $10. That doesn't make any sense. So no, so I don't agree with that sentiment at all.
So, do you? So I've been on Twitter and I haven't seen. So and this is my well, not my only. I have seen others say that this is the gripe they had with Prince of Persia, and I would agree. The fact that you need to rely on them status for fast travel was atrocious because there were only a handful of them, while the fire should have been your ability to fast travel. Also,
That
you should
I,
have the ability to go back to your area without, because every Metroidvania introduced at some point, at least from the ones that I have played, that allow you to go back to your previous fast travel save point without, while either it's consumable or a rechargeable item. And
what
Prince
what
of
what,
Persia
what
sadly didn't
yeah.
have that.
Hold on. I don't get what the hell you're talking about. You need to
Okay,
explain that.
so in Metrovania when you're free roaming and all of a sudden you wanna go back, instead to try to find a save point or
Oh,
a
you mean
fast travel point,
so
you
so
can go
so
back
what
to your previous save point, something like that.
okay, okay, you mean that doesn't have any manual saves. It only has one single auto save. Yeah, sure. But I mean, the lots of games have that. It's a choice. I don't personally agree with that, but I mean, the thing is,
Yeah.
like with that one, I kind of wish I had because then maybe I could have reloaded to an earlier save and see if that fucking parrot side mission wasn't bugged in an earlier instance. But I don't know.
That,
But
but I'm not talking
as
about that.
though you're talking about that because you're talking about having multiple saves.
No. You misunderstood me. What I'm talking about the ability to go back to your uh, uh, previous rest area. So fast travel, but without making use of the stone. A genuine fast travel. You get me? Like,
Uh,
for example, a button you press and you fast travel. You don't need to go to visit a stone so you can fast travel. That's what I'm talking about. That would
yeah,
have
okay.
saved so
You
much
you you have a very
backtracking.
convoluted, but that's the same as your first point because you said this was your second point, but it's exactly the same as your first point.
I never mentioned a second save, but I understand what you're saying with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Roll back a tape. Now, the thing is,
Oh
so
man.
your only complaint is fast travel, and the thing is, I don't agree with that because I think look, sure, if you can instantly fast travel to every fast travel point at any time, that's obviously more convenient. But I think the way they design it, it's not that cumbersome. Like it's pretty easy. That they had actually a lot of fast travel points. Like I maybe didn't discover them all, but they weren't that rare as you described them. And generally, it's pretty easy to get from one particular portion of the map to the other. Again, it would be more convenient if you could fast travel wherever you wanted, but lots of games don't do that. And I don't necessarily think it's a problem that the game doesn't do that as long as you offer the option. I mean, I didn't find it very cumbersome to just go back to fast travel point
Yeah,
and
me neither.
and just find the quickest way there. Like I didn't waste a lot of time in my opinion.
Interesting. I was on the other side of
The only
spectrum.
point where I wanted another fast travel was the jungle area. I think it needed one like in the top
Oh.
right section over there. But other than that, like everywhere else was fine. That's the only one I was like, I wish there was a fast travel point for over here.
Okay.
But yeah.
I think, especially if you want to get the platinum, you're gonna need to be, you're gonna backtrack a lot.
I mean, isn't
And that
that
was,
one of
Shut,
the things about
shut up,
Yeah.
not the
Metroidvanias?
platinum,
Um
motherfucker.
yeah, I mean it wasn't that bad because I remember before I even unlocked my first fast travel, like I had to backtrack and I'm rolling my eyes like, oh man, I gotta go from this side of the map to this side of the map. But it honestly wasn't that bad. Like I just
Yeah.
jumped over the enemies and ran
okay.
and dashed my entire way over there. It wasn't too bad.
Okay. And I'm saying that from what I've seen, that's the only,
Um,
what you call
as
it?
far as the sales go, I mean, I'm not really
Yeah.
that surprised. Metrovania is still like it's popular, but it's still niche, and
Is it niche?
It's
especially
extremely niche.
yeah, coming from Ubisoft, it's been a while, so I think people are just trained with Ubisoft to they only want the Assassin's Creeds or the Far Cries or whatever, like the big bangers from Ubisoft, even though everybody says they're tired of
I think
that
it has a lot
shit.
to do with the games coming out right after it too, though.
That's
Because like
true.
me,
That's true.
why didn't I buy it? I'm looking at, I got all these games, and right now I gotta really pump the brakes having to go out and buy a vehicle right now.
Yep.
You
Mm.
know,
And
it's
yeah,
like
timing.
I ain't gonna be able
They
to
picked a
go
bad
get back
time for this
that.
game.
Yeah,
I think if they chose
they
like the
picked.
summer,
Yeah,
maybe it would have performed a little
yeah.
better.
I pick it up in the summer.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the timing, the type of game, the
I'm looking at
genre.
February, and there's like 6 games in a month, 5 games in a month, and then March couple games in a month, new games. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I ain't gonna have time. Am I gonna have time or the funds to do that?
It kind of sucks because this is one of Ubisoft's better products, right? Like, I think we can all agree, like this, as far as
It's the first
Ubisoft
one that
goes,
I even thought about buying
this.
day one in like
So,
years.
Mm-hmm.
so, as of December 2022, Metroid Dread have sold 3.4 mil
Mm-hmm.
worldwide.
Which is a massive Nintendo IP whose IPs
Mm-hmm.
are known to always outsell
Yeah,
everyone
I say
else.
that's a very known IP, a very popular IP,
But the
and one
Prince of Persia,
one that
but
people were been waiting on for a while.
No, Prince of Persia,
Was not
Prince of
known
Persia
for
is nowhere near that, not even
yeah,
close, and it's never been. So yeah,
yeah.
no, like your
okay.
And
Metroid is one of the
and
beloved
the
franchises ever.
popular, or should I say the wanted Prince of Persia, the one they want is that AAA one that they keep fucking delaying. The
You
Ubisoft,
talking about the remake one?
yeah, that's the one that everybody's like,
We
That's what they
I want
don't
that
changed
one.
to this one though. That ain't even
we don't
happening.
know what's happening with that one because being in
Yeah.
development hell since development
Oh yeah.
hell since
I'm
It'll be
pretty sure they
another
changed it
Ubisoft little
to.
crap fest, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay. Um.
It's
So
sad though. But shout out to the Prince of Persia developers, and I hope Ubisoft gives y'all a bag to make another one. And I
you
hope
think
it
they're
does
gonna
well
make
enough.
another one?
I mean,
No chance.
if not for the Prince of Persia IP, maybe like a different Metrovania for a different
Well,
IP. Shit, like they gotta.
they have said that they would be interested in making a Zelda Metroidvania. If they
Yeah,
did, that would be fucking awesome.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't get to play it
Wait,
on
would
PlayStation,
you?
but
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
my Nintendo would allow that unless it's Nintendo or console only.
yeah, I think that's
Oh,
what we
no,
was
no.
talking about.
Hey, dude. Hold on. They act, this is the same developer who made Mario versus Rabbids, right?
Okay,
So
so then it's gonna be on PC on Switch only. My bad, or Switch
yeah,
Pro, or Switch Two, whatever it's gonna call.
no,
Shout out to the Switch too.
just Switch, whatever. But it doesn't matter. But
Okay,
they have that relationship. So and Nintendo
Yeah.
has a relationship with Ubisoft. So it's entirely possible.
okay.
And we've had a 2D Zelda game, which is Legend of Zelda 2. So they sort
Hmm.
of want to make a sort of in the vein of that game, but then Metroidvania. So I mean, I'm all for it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
anything but the fucking Breath of the Wild template.
I would love uh, a visually impressive Zelda on the level of a God of War or something like that, with blood, gore, and other jazz.
What the fuck, Omar? That's not Zelda.
It doesn't
Oh
need to be.
man,
It
But
doesn't
but
need
but if
to
he
be.
want a bloody Zelda. What?
but but if you want to have a dark, realistic Zelda, I mean, they already made that one. That's Twilight Princess.
I saw there was almost like a a beginning. I said a beginning or a demo of a Zelda where you fight a spider, and that looked impressive.
Yeah, but that's Twilight Princess because when they came out then with Wind Waker, initially people were like, "Oh, come on, cartoony graphics," and now people love Wind Waker. But then they
Oh
in
yeah,
response they made Twilight Princess, which was a realistic Zelda, which was really dark and was basically based on that art style of that demo. So they already made that, which you'd have known if you're a real Nintendo gamer, Omar.
I haven't played a single. No, I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild, but that's about it with the Zelda. When it comes to
Yeah,
me and Zelda.
that's not a real Zelda game.
Oh man,
Mm,
he's a purist.
Yeah, yeah.
I never.
I refuse to recognize that as a Zelda game.
I refuse to
Oh,
recognize. I
okay.
love it.
Going back to the conversation. Um, and Nate, what's your thought on this whole 300K only?
I mean, I'm not surprised at all. Like I said, I didn't pick it up, and I had no intentions of picking it up. And I mean,
Mm.
I thought it was
You're
a great
you're
game, but
you're a special case though. You
I'm not.
He's really
understand.
not though.
I'm
He's
not.
really not. The majority of people don't like or don't care about Metrovanias. I think you have a over. I think you're overthinking the popularity of Metrovanias a little bit, Omar.
But
It's not. It's not what the majority of people want, especially from Ubisoft. They don't. They
Yeah,
don't care
I
about
think you're
that.
misunderstanding some of the ones that have been popular. If you think back and look at what's been popular outside of the bullshit Nintendo releases, because that's just phenomenon level bullshit. Most
honestly,
of the
honest,
Metroidvanias that have been popular are almost uniquely always indie. So they're, you know, 29.99 at the worst. Um, it's always the shit that's like, I can't even remember the name of the motherfucker. Uh, I want to say Salt and Sanctuary, but I don't think that's one. But I can't remember the like really popular one right now. But almost every single one that I remember being popular is always indie, and people going crazy over it. And
um,
yeah,
I'm
it's never
looking to how much
up there.
Ori 2 sold, and I can't find sales numbers. Only players.
But again, that's another one. A lot of people talk about how great it is, but I also don't see a ton of people talking about, uh, talking about number one completing it, and
I did twice on
We're
normal
not.
and hard mode.
We're not talking about you,
not
Omar.
you,
Everybody's not
Omar.
you. We got
I'm
to remember
I'm
that.
talking
You
about the
keep thinking what you
majority.
like is what the majority of people like, and it's not true.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
Yeah, and
so
we
why do you
already know
think they don't
how.
come? Why
Uh,
do you think they don't complete? Is it because the game's too long,
That
or
and difficulty, like Metrovanias are a little bit more difficult for the average gamer than
Wah, wah. The,
it takes a lot of patience.
but
yeah, which
people
a lot of
play
these people
Dark
clearly don't have.
Souls.
I think with Ori
People
the
review
problem is
Dark Souls though, and
I think
and
with
Elden
Ori
Ring.
the problem is the platform it came out.
That true, and it's a platformer. I don't think
Yeah,
people
Mm.
people people
No,
don't
no, no,
really.
no platformer.
the
The platform
platform.
it came out on.
You're saying because it
Oh
was
yeah,
Xbox. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not available
Okay, I agree
everywhere.
with that, but when it went to Switch, shouldn't it
Yeah, but it
have
went
been
hella
received
late.
better?
It went hella late. Like,
Also, it was on PC.
yeah, and who
Do we
cares?
not?
Like, who cares at that point? Like I said, like a lot of the other ones were already popular. Like Ori was cool, but like a lot of the ones that, like I said, like people already decided like what types that they liked, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like you get on PC a lot of the grittier, darker toned Metroidvanias tend to do better. So it's like honestly, at that point, if they wanted to play Ori, they would have done it already.
Mm.
Like it's not like millions and millions of people out here waiting to play them. Like I said, it's just not a genre a lot of people find fun. And as far as the difficulty goes, difficulty is only only pertains to the level that people are willing to stand with that particular genre, right? Um,
Mm.
some of them are like
To be
that.
fair, a lot of people don't know what fun is.
I mean,
I
Yeah.
would agree with that.
yeah, I mean,
But
I'm not gonna argue on that because I've seen some bullshit lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people don't complete half a bunch of what I'm seeing lately. A lot of people aren't even completing the games they're starting.
Uh,
So yeah, so I would agree that they don't know what fun is because they
mm,
can't even pick a game to complete at this point. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
I do think Game Pass has exacerbated that effect because it's very hard to be motivated when you play a game with Game Pass to just finish
yes,
it. Like, because you have like, okay, it's part of a catalog. I don't own it, so even though I know I'm paying for it, or I
you haven't
paid
really
for it,
invested in it. Mm-hmm.
yeah, like it's like, okay, I'm trying it. It's not. I don't know if you want to finish it, so it's fine. I'm like it's purely from a rational sense doesn't really make sense because you've already paid for it, so you should basically finish those games first before you start anything else. But
Right.
you're like, no, I like the next hot thing is coming out. I know I have to pay for it. Like, it's not going to be in any subscription service, but I want to play it. And it's not just FOMO. It's just that you want to play something good because, uh, as Innate has told numerous times, like, it's not the money, it's time. Time is the number one
Mm-hmm.
constraint in playing these games. Like,
It's the number one valuable
especially
currency, and
last
I
year,
ain't wasting
this
money
year,
on no
yeah,
game or
yeah,
time on no Game Pass games.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, like you never know what's gonna happen. And tomorrow you're gonna be hit by a bus, like, and get isekai if we're talking Omar terms. But
yeah,
the
yeah.
but yeah, you never yeah, the thing is, like, it's not that serious, but the thing is, like, you wanna just you kind of feel like if you're playing something that if there's something out there that want to play more than anything else, and you just don't play it because you have to make use of your subscription service. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to just get on the thing you want to play. That's and it makes total sense, of course, but that kind of got disrupted by the subscription service. And it's the same thing, like, with, and that's kind of the Netflix effect. Like, the thing with Netflix is, like, yeah, sure, you subscribe to it. You sometimes they have something cool, but, like, and then you're just paying for it and you're not using it, and you might even catch yourself just watching a fucking Blu-ray that you own that you could watch at any time. But, like, yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
feel like watching that one movie that you may have watched before, but is so fucking good. So yeah, I mean, sorry, a bit of tangent with subscription service, but it certainly has a effect that you just don't want to finish games because you don't really, yeah, like you said, Morgan, you don't really take any ownership on those games.
Yeah. I mean, it was the same way
Okay.
with me with back when PS Now or whatever existed. I tried, that was the first time I tried Judgment was on PS Now. And I used it kind of like a demo service. Like, I played like an hour of it, even though the full game was on there. And I was like, okay, I like this game, so I'm gonna buy it. Like, I just don't like really
Yeah.
playing games
Mhm.
yeah, on a service. Like, I don't know what it is. When I had PS Now, I would use it the same way. Like, I would just kind of play a game for an hour, and I was like, even if I liked it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And then
Interesting. So you used it as almost like a demo collector.
yeah, and even with games that I didn't plan on buying, like I mean, I just like, okay, I don't really have anything to play, or I'm kind of bored. Let me flip through PS Now, and it was just like I would never stay on anything long. It would just be like an hour or two, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna replay a game that I've already played. It's
Mm-hmm.
just something about a subscription service where I don't know, where you just feel like no need to finish really anything in it. And it's just like I don't really want to finish something unless I invest in it and buy it. And then I'm like, all right, I bought this game. Okay, now I'm gonna play it. I bought Persona. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy this. Like, it's I just don't have any just drive to complete games when it's a subscription.
Mhm.
Like we've said the same thing with Netflix. Like a lot of the times I'm just flipping through it, watching. I'll start a show and I'm like, and move on. Even if I like connect with it or it's cool, I'm like, I'll move on to a show that I've already watched or move on to like a movie that I have or something. Like, yeah, it's weird.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nelson, you have anything else to say about this topic?
No, that's a lot lower than I expected, though. Holy shit, that ain't nothing.
Me
There's
too.
little indie games that don't get any coverage or any boasting in media that get more than that. I mean,
Not even
Mhm.
reaching 1 mil.
See,
That's
mind you,
insane.
Ubisoft garbage sells out the fucking window though. Like fucking Valhalla, breaks records for them,
Yeah,
but with
yeah.
this
I know,
game,
and it's
And that shit is
trash.
terrible.
I'm
And
like,
that shit is trash.
exactly, and I'm just like, all right. See, people don't know what the fuck they don't know quality, but it's
Apparently,
fine.
that's stuff makes so much trash is because the only thing that sells that they make is the trash.
Exactly. The
I'm just
only
being
thing that
honest.
sells is the fucking trash.
If they make a good game, it don't sell. Like I ain't never played whatchamacallit, that Zelda type game, but that didn't sell good either. But I heard it's good.
Oh, that
Everything
game you
else is
played,
trash, and everything
the
else sold.
Rising. What's that game called, Omar? The
No,
Phoenix Rising or something like that.
Phoenix Rising,
Also
yeah.
Phoenix Rising, and
Yeah.
they supported it with 3 DLC or 2, I forgot, and they canceled part
Yeah, well,
2,
there would be a
and
second.
they canceled part 2. So
Yeah, because it sold like dog shit.
it's
Mhm.
People
weird.
want trash from Ubisoft. They was
Ubisoft,
right,
I
we was
give
We
you.
wrong.
want trash
People want
from
trash.
Ubisoft. Give us more trash.
If it didn't sell well, why then support it with DLCs?
They said,
I'm
look,
sure it was
it wasn't
planned.
trash enough.
So
This game.
going away from this conversation, because it's painful for me. Leaked document shows Microsoft predicted they would sell 100 million Xbox One consoles. They only missed their target by
That's
40
incorrect.
plus
They
mil.
they they predict to plan sell 200 to 300 million. They were a little off.
Also, they had
Xbox Ones, they plan on play. I remember the article. They said their estimates were 200 to 300 million Xbox Ones during the generation.
also
So they were a little bit off.
they had considered launching at 300, but instead they did at 500.
Damn.
Yeah, and so this I'm actually going to go in right now with this because this
Oh,
so
share. Everybody back up.
with this a major publisher have told Chris Ding, I have no idea who he is, but he is apparently the head of game industry biz, that several European retailers just stopped restocking physical Xbox Series games. Sales performance is so low that it's no longer feasible. Um, Morgan, lady, Captain Xbox, what's up? What's
Oh, not
good?
Captain Xbox, man. Hold
How
up.
is Xbox doing, lady? Go ahead.
Listen. We still holding
How
the
you
line out
gonna
here.
damage
We
control
still
this
holding the
one?
line out here, okay? All right, look,
Hey,
it's all gonna be fine. Once we start putting the games on PlayStation and Switch, don't worry about it. It's all gonna be fine. It's all
spoken
great.
as a true Xbox champion.
Yeah, but like for
Uh,
real, like Xbox
yeah.
is, yeah, they're just, man, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. It's like every time they do something that seems like it's headed in a good direction, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot, and they're like, I don't know. It's like I don't know if they just like the struggle or they like being in last place, or it's like, I don't know. I can't
Well,
really
they're like,
explain
well,
it.
Hey,
nobody's playing our games, but they think they're gonna put it on PlayStation and Nintendo. Like maybe they'll buy our games even though our games won't play. It's like, nah, it's still trash.
Yeah, I
they
don't
can't
know.
they can't combat PlayStation. That's just what it is. Like when you think about it, Xbox best year couldn't even top PlayStation worst year.
Yeah, I mean, and even as far as console sales go, they're still behind Xbox One right now. So it's just like, I don't know. With cheaper consoles, they're still behind. Uh, yeah, I can't really speak on that right
You
now.
can defend it.
I can't.
You
There's nothing I
gotta
can say.
you gotta hide real
Yeah, I'm
quick.
gonna hide my hand. I'm gonna come out and be like, still going strong, guys. Hold the line. Hold the
Oh
faith.
shit. Um, Weeb, what's your thought as a fellow Xboxer now? Okay. Nelson, what's your thoughts as a non-fellow Xboxer?
Sarah Bond gonna come out and tell us that we're bringing our games everywhere, a whole slate.
Mm,
That's the
I
best.
see.
That's
I
the
see.
best.
Hashtag the whole
That's the best
slate.
person to do it.
We're gonna
You know what I
we're gonna
mean?
cover that part. We're gonna cover that part. Um, anything else you wanna add?
No, not really.
Okay, Nate.
Just waiting for spring.
Mm.
Spring's
I
beautiful.
just want to see tears. There's not. I'm trying to think. Is there a game they can bring over? I'm like,
They're gonna shadow
nah.
drop something after
I
that
don't. I
announcement to
don't.
ease
I
it,
actually
ease the
don't want to
pain.
see
Yeah,
this.
right.
I want to sit down and
I
have a
can't.
genuine conversation. Nate, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, they cultivated this entire thing. So, I mean, the Game Pass effect already was cannibalizing sales drastically, which, I mean, they already were, losing out with a sales disproportionate on, digital to physical. And then they just cultivated that even worse with Game Pass. So, I mean, I'm not even surprised. I mean, they essentially set this up and cultivated the fan base to act this way. So, yeah, I mean, the end result is pretty obvious. So, that doesn't surprise me at all. And I mean, them shutting down their physical department pretty much solidifies that, they're getting away from that
God.
entirely. So, yep.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I feel like that was inevitable with the physical because, like, even I've been seeing like articles about certain stores have like just not selling Xbox physical games because they're it's losing the money hold that space because when it comes to brick and mortar stores, space is money. And if an item is taking up a space or a section or shelves and it's not selling, that's them losing money. So them holding those Xbox games was losing money. So they stopped. They just basically stopped. You know, shelving and selling physical Xbox games because the only thing people were really buying from the Xbox section were like the little cards, like the Game Pass cards and stuff, and like controllers and headsets, accessories, but not really games. So it's sad. It's really sad because it's just Xbox. It's this with the physical is putting us one step closer to like an all digital world and when it comes to gaming. And I know people are going to be like, well, I mean, we're headed that way anyway, but I'm like, listen, they're expediting it by being so bad. Like them being bad and them because the physical for them isn't making money because they moved away from a physical model with Game Pass. It's expediting the process of the whole industry going all digital. Like
Exactly.
they're just kicking down the door to all digital. We're like, well, we don't really have a choice because we're losing money on the physical. So probably next gen, we're probably just going to do away with the physical, or have it optional, or whatever, right? But that causes then the domino effect of everybody else to be like, well, I mean, Xbox did it, so it's okay for us to go digital. Oh, let's release this game all digital and no physical, and yeah, that's it. Like ownership out the window essentially. But this is the world people have been paying for and encouraging. So you know what? That's what y'all
Yeah,
want. Fine.
so
fuck Xbox.
um, Nate, what's your thoughts?
I already spoke.
You're done?
Yeah.
Cause I thought she gave some her thoughts and okay. As for so here's the thing. Why? So look. Um, mm, I'm not focusing on console war. I'm not focusing on anything. I'm focusing on the broader of this story. I'm focusing on the ripple effect. We all seen the writing on the wall for it. Between last year covering that Phil Spencer admitted, fully admitted, that Xbox Game Pass numbers are not in decline, but like they're not gonna grow anymore. And the only growth they were seeing was from PC. Between that, between Game Pass even existing, um, I'm gonna flat out just ask, how much can they survive before either going full third party or stepping out of the industry.
One, they're not going to step out the industry. There's way too much money to make in gaming.
Yeah, they're not. They might sell off some of their studios and keep only the ones that are profitable over time, but they're not gonna just
But
like sell Minecraft, sell fucking. Well, I don't know. They ain't
but
done shit with that. If they could get some money for it, I'd
Yeah,
sell
they,
it.
they just invested
They,
multiple billions of
but
Activision. They're not stepping out anytime
Yeah,
soon.
that's not
but
happening.
what games can work on PlayStation though? Unless it's a Bethesda game or an Activision game.
And that's
I
a lot of
I
games.
don't think any game from Xbox would do well on PlayStation.
It doesn't
I
mean it
don't
would do
think any of
nothing.
them really do. The thing that's the thing that sucks is if they would have released Starfield day one, they would have got a ton of money back from that. But now everybody knows it's dog shit. Nobody want it.
Oh man.
I agree with that statement. I agree with how Starfield was received. If it did well, it would have sold
The
way
more
more
people
on
playing it, the
PlayStation.
more people not liking it too.
Listen,
It's like,
even if they released it
goddamn,
right now, I thought they would get a good chunk from PlayStation. Like, motherfuckers be talking shit,
decent. But
but
every day that goes by, and that's gonna be the last. They'll wait to have that shattered space thing, and then they'll bundle that together, then sell that on
I'm saying if they
PlayStation
released
like
like a
after over a year.
DLC and like quality of life improvements and then released it on PlayStation, I feel like PlayStation players would gravitate towards it. Some.
It would sell.
Yeah, they think they're gonna sell these indie games, Pentiments and type shit like that. They think they're gonna
Hey,
get
Pentiment was
their money back
good.
from that. I'm just
My
saying it ain't gonna
God,
sell. You might have liked
I
it,
love
but
Pentiment, man.
people aren't
Shout
running
out
out
to
to buy
Obsidian
it.
with Pentiment, bro, because like they ain't got no love even from the Xbox people, man. That was a good game.
Morgan
Damn it.
fighting for Pentiment. Let's go.
I
Defend
love Pentiment.
Pentiment.
I enjoyed it.
Um, Weeb, you here?
I'm just saying it's not gonna generate money. That's
You're
all I'm
right.
saying.
It's definitely not. You're right on that part.
Weeb, you
I
here?
love Fist, but that bitch didn't break 10 million sales. I can tell you that.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I don't even think it broke one.
Okay.
No.
Um, Look, the reason why I say this is because between it's a fourfold thing or even fivefold. You have Game Pass not doing good numbers on Xbox to the point they had
Well,
to
they're not
drop it.
growing.
They're
Well,
not
not
doing good in
growing.
general.
Yeah,
It's not just
they're
Xbox.
I mean,
stagnant.
yeah,
Yeah.
not growing. Thank you, not growing. Between their games not selling, between lack of third-party support, that's another thing, and between now going all digital, they have no choice but to go multiplat now.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not
I
gonna
mean
How?
say
they
no choice. I mean, they can do whatever they want. They got the money, but what they
No,
do is
clearly,
different.
clearly not. They're bleeding, like they bleeding money so much that what's his name? Satya Nadella removed Game Pass from his bonus.
Well, I mean, that's because it was a growth. It was a growth type bonus, and given
yeah,
that they,
you
Yeah,
only got the bonus if there was growth.
yeah, that's why he removed it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, regardless, Microsoft has the money.
Yeah, Microsoft
That
got the
hasn't.
money for days.
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
It's just
Microsoft has the money, but are they willing to spend it on Xbox? That's the question.
I mean, so far, yeah, but I mean, what they do with it, I mean, no one's gonna know. I mean, you say they have nothing. I mean, if they want to grow significantly, then yeah, their only real choice is to release the majority of things, in a third party aspect. But I mean, you have to
Well, they'd like
solidify
to
what's
put
going
Game
to work.
Pass everywhere, but no one will let them do that.
That's not
So
yeah,
happening. Yeah.
yeah.
Is it fair
It's
to?
that's exactly. They got to make money off other platforms the only way they can. They
Is
got
it?
to get. There ain't enough Xbox people and not enough PC people give a shit. So
Mm-hmm.
you got too
Um,
much to rely. That's why if Sony bought like Square or something, they'd have to keep putting games on Nintendo and whatever to try and keep them
I
profitable.
want them
You
to.
could
absolutely,
just.
absolutely.
I don't
Um,
want them to make exclusive at least with Square
I
Enix. I want
don't
them to
either.
keep.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
Just leave them alone.
I want
Pick up some
Square to
JRPG
make.
studio that's up and coming or something and invest
I
into
want
them.
to make. I want Square to keep making games for Nintendo, but I also want Nintendo games to go on PlayStation from Square. If,
Yeah.
like, for example, they're making a next game that is on Switch, put it also on PlayStation, because now the PlayStation owns Square. Something to such degree. Um, Black Frost, sup man? Welcome to the club. Going back to it, look, um, I'm thinking now, what's next for PlayStation? Cause they, if or when Microsoft put Hi-Fi on PlayStation, it's over. Like it's now, it's not only Hi-Fi. Apparently, I don't know who this person is, but some dude that is saying that not not hi-fi on. So Steven Totilo, my bad. I don't know who he is, but apparently he said that he is confident Sea of Thieves is coming to a PlayStation.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why, because I think that's gonna do shit. Because I don't think PlayStation fans give a shit about that game. But yeah, sure. I mean, if they can get it over there,
I don't
I'm
know.
sure
I'm
someone
I'm
will
a boot
play
it.
it.
I'm gonna buy it and boot it up and go on the high seas on the DualSense just to troll. But
That's what I'm gonna do.
I'll do it.
If
I don't
it's
give a
as
fuck.
long as it's free, I mean,
So
I ain't paying for that.
They're gonna put it
so
in PS
he
Plus.
is so he
Yeah,
is
put it in PS Plus.
so Steven Totilo is a reporter covering video games at GameFile. Previously launched games coverage at Axios and MTV News. Was Kotaku was at Kotaku.
Yeah, he
Okay.
started at Kotaku and he's been there for years. So yeah.
Okay. So clearly he is in the know. Between him, between Jazz, between everyone. Like there is one thing to say that is a console war news and stuff like that, and now you have almost like the entire industry saying it. And now we have a date. Apparently, that shit is gonna happen in summer. We're gonna have none other than
Sarah
I
Bond.
forgot what her position is, but Sarah Bond is gonna go to the stage and say that a new move is gonna be focused on, and it's a
Mm.
springtime.
I mean, seems like a
So,
pretty big deal.
Morgan, what's your thought?
I
Is it
mean,
happening or no?
at this point, there's just way too many different sources, and
Right?
yeah. I mean, if it was PlayStation, not because it's third party rumors or anything like that, I wouldn't have believed. Just because there's never any inside information that's usually correct on PlayStation. But these Xbox insiders be on it. They know they know damn near everything that Xbox does, right? But yeah, it seems to be happening. It seems like gonna be a bigger deal than we thought. If they're having a like actual, if they are essentially having like a sit down kind of situation like they did when they purchased like Bethesda and Activision. They had the little round table type of situation. So it seems like they're well aware that, the ripple effect that these plans are going to have in the gaming community at large. And so I guess they're going to sit down and have another round table. Like at this point, Xbox is famous for their damn round tables to appease their fans and talk about these changes. So it makes me think it might be a little bit more than just Hi-Fi and Sea of Thieves, or maybe not initially. Like
I think it'll be
those are
that'll
going to
be an
be,
announcement because it still takes time to port things. It doesn't
yeah,
happen
exactly.
overnight. Those are
Yeah,
the first games to go, and then probably
exactly.
fall. You probably Starfield and I don't know what else they bring over.
Yeah,
What
I'm
else they
thinking like they're just gonna say like we're starting with Hi-Fi and Sea of Thieves or whatever, and you know the plan going forward is
we're
it'll
gonna take
be
it
case
for
by
place
case.
by place
Yeah,
space. Yeah, exactly. I was waiting. I
case
was like,
by
see,
case.
just send Morgan up there. She got it. Everybody's taking better from her.
That's
Tell me,
exactly what
She
they're
got it
where
all
gonna
are we
lined
do.
up.
gonna go after this?
Ah, shit. I don't know. Like, and I'm really interested to see what this dialogue is going to be and how they're going to break the news down. Because like I've seen a lot of these Xbox, the most extreme ones, have like complete mental breakdowns with this news. Like they are losing their mind. They're calling for heads to roll, people to get fired. They sending death threats apparently. Like it's getting real. And then once Sarah, poor little Sarah, I feel so bad because like, why she got to take the bullet for this? I don't know.
That's why she got the job. When they promoted her, I was like, oh man, she's gonna be the deliverer of bad news.
They said,
I'm like, she's gonna be the deliverer. Yeah.
But listen, it comes at a cost. All right.
I can just see Phil seeing her, and all I can see now is her pushing her in front of a bus.
I feel so bad, like, cause she don't deserve none of the hate. Like, I like her personality. She seems really cool. She seems really enthusiastic about gaming, but I hope it's not her that has to give this news. But at least hope Phil's there with her when she's saying it. But
oh no, he's pushing her out on the stage.
He behind the stage curtain, like, say it.
Yep.
Say it.
Go, get out there. Boom. You're gonna see her stumble out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just yeah, and they're talking about a secondary speaker that's going to mention other people who are concerned are now saying we shouldn't be concerned with everything. Like, see, they're already starting with like trying to douse the flames. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah,
either downplaying it or just like accept it because there is no other way around it.
I mean, like Morgan said,
but they're gonna go out there and
go ahead.
Sorry, I think they're gonna go out there like Morgan said. They're gonna be like, oh, case by case basis. Then they're gonna be like, see, you're not gonna get the bigger stuff, and then,
down the road,
it's just gonna be it's gonna be a snowball getting bigger after that because it's gonna be like, oh, here's more. Every quarter, Sorry,
so
go ahead.
I have a question. Could this have been prevented if PlayStation, if Xbox didn't put their game day one on PC, day and date?
I mean, they rolled that years ago. It's not just the PC stuff.
They still don't sell.
Yeah, the PC stuff wouldn't have been the problem. The problem is Game Pass. That's been cultivating them for years.
Game Pass never existed though beforehand.
Bro, Game Pass existed. I think you're forgetting how long Game Pass has existed.
Game Pass has been around for like 7 years.
Like 2017, right?
8 years.
No. I'm talking before 7 years.
Yeah.
Xbox was dog shit before Game Pass even existed.
No, but they were doing bad in general. But that's just because their lack of games. But once they actually started to get anything, Game Pass was already a thing.
It's been worse since they got Game Pass.
They shouldn't have started Game Pass, and they should have just invested.
Honestly,
exactly.
if they didn't, like, I'm gonna be real with you, and this is not any console war. This is some straight like facts. If they hadn't started Game Pass, Xbox wouldn't exist right now. I'm gonna be real with you. Game Pass was the life.
That's true because they wouldn't have gotten the investors to be like, "Yo."
Satya Nano was ready to axe the Xbox division. And Phil had one less Hail Mary to give this man to keep Xbox afloat and to keep the Xbox in the gaming. And he was like, "Shit, subscription service." I mean, Microsoft is known for their subscription service with Word and everything like that. So he was like a subscription service for games, and that set off a light bulb in his head. Ooh, right, recurring funds. That sounds fucking amazing. We do that. We love that. We are built off of that. That sounds like it's gonna fit right into the Microsoft fold, and he greenlit it. So as of course you want the right way, or the way that probably would have been better in the long term for Microsoft was, of course, to invest in more publishers and more developers, but they needed a quick turnaround. Like, they didn't have time, and they didn't have the money really because Microsoft still didn't get, that they had their funds taken. That's why he had to go to Satya with the idea, because they didn't really have any funds to invest in.
Yeah, they had to buy the publishers from Daddy because they ain't got no money.
So
they got no money coming in.
This was literally, unfortunately, it was like it was like just a necessary evil. And it helped them in the short term to get Xbox back into the game and pick them up and, help Microsoft believe in them again. But now, that short term positive benefit is now running out. Now they have to look at the negatives of investing into a subscription service, which is now relying on other people to invest in the subscription service for it to survive. Right? We see all the other subscription services like Netflix, HBO, Hulu, Peacock, whatever subscription service, they're all cracking down and doing things to increase, because at the end of the day, in order to get the subscription service to make money, you have to invest into it. And like, you see how Netflix is spending like
Netflix go up
billions.
damn near quarterware now.
Yeah, every quarter we're seeing another Twitter. Oh, Netflix is going up. Netflix is going up $2, $3.
Another Dubai. They just signed
Yeah,
WWE and shit too now. That's another $5
exactly.
billion.
With an
Like, that's gonna
announcement
come
that
out of
it's going to
somewhere,
go up
coming out of your
again.
ass.
Exactly, because they have to keep investing into stuff to make the app appealing and put original shows and stuff, because all these other networks are making their own subscriptions and taking away the stuff that was making Netflix popular. So now they have to make their own original shit, and that costs money, which they have to then raise the price for their shit.
Yeah,
Which they,
Netflix basically going on buying their own publishers. That's what they're doing,
exactly.
basically.
That's what they're doing, and unfortunately for Microsoft, now that they've adopted this subscription model, it's costing them, and they don't. There's only a certain amount of places that you can put your games. There's like a limited place. They're doing PC, mobile, consoles, but now like they realize like a lot of the PC market, they go off of Steam. Like they don't really need Game Pass on PC, because Steam in itself is there's just so many places where you can get games on Steam on sale, and for like half the cost you could pirate. There's just so many options on Steam that Game Pass is cool, but the majority of PC players aren't subscribed to Game Pass. It's not really something that they prioritize. So now they're like, fuck, well, we got what we could out of PC. Shit, we're gonna have to take our shit to another console. So
Okay.
PlayStation and Nintendo. So that's just unfortunate for Xbox. They just kind of put
Okay.
themselves in this predicament.
Exactly.
Ma-
They cultivated
we
it themselves.
Weeb, are you here?
I've been here all this time.
I couldn't hear you. Were you able
Well, that
to hear him?
When you
Well,
I
that
when
asked
you
him.
asked for him earlier, he didn't say anything. So I think he was just
Yeah.
away at the moment.
well, because everybody's talking through each other, so
No, no,
you
no, no,
should have.
no. We gave you the spot and you couldn't.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
no,
It's
no,
okay.
no, no, no,
Just
no,
go.
no,
It's
no,
okay.
no.
Then go ahead. Say what you want to say, because I'm genuinely curious what you want to say.
What, the Xbox sucks?
It's not that. It's the rumor. It's a lot of topics combined. It's Xbox pivoting now. There is more information that Xbox wanna go third party with certain uh, games. We now know of Hi-Fi and also Sea of Thieves. And it confirms that Xbox, that retailers in Europe have been stopping supplying Xbox physical games
Of
or
course they
games
have.
physically for Xbox.
Yeah,
Do you think?
what do you expect if you have a subscription service where you put everything day and date?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they really know the business of gaming too well. To be honest, I don't care if they've been in it 20 years.
Yeah, I think
I don't think
they
they know how the brain works.
So,
They're
thought
not
the
used to doing
incentive.
entertainment.
but with
Microsoft is
this,
not an entertainment company.
but with
They're
this,
just
but
not.
with this, but listen, this is another information that I'm gonna share with you. I just read it myself, and get this. I don't know who this dude. I don't know if he's credible or not, but Moore's law is dead. Said that Microsoft is considering working with Intel for their next gen Xbox console instead of their usual partnership with AMD. Apparently, Microsoft is shopping around with Intel and Nvidia for their next-gen console. Xbox have not yet signed a next-gen contract with AMD, unlike Sony, which has multiple contracts with AMD for the PlayStation.
Yeah, but
Intel,
I think they want to make a cheaper
one second,
type of
one
box,
second.
and they got to make it work too.
Intel sees this as an opportunity to save their Arc graphics card and boost their fab capacity. Microsoft has been reluctant to launch another generation of Xbox, but is now starting design work with AMD. The next Xbox may be delayed and rushed due to the late start in design work. Like, what's happening at Xbox, dude?
I wouldn't want to green like that shit, dude.
I mean,
I'm just
I
being
get why
honest.
they want to release it earlier. I guess they're trying to copy the success of the 360 and kind of give themselves a
Exactly.
little lead, even though I think it will give them an initial boost in sales. Of course, anything new and shiny, people are going to buy and gravitate, especially if it's more powerful than what's currently out. But at the end of the day, once PlayStation releases, and they most likely will release a more powerful console than the Xbox, now that they know what the new one is, it won't matter. PlayStation will catch up and outsell them again. But I mean, I don't think that that's a good idea for Xbox to release early.
Not early. Wait, no, you're misunderstanding me.
No,
Later.
I hear what you said about the parts not going to be ready. Like, but their plan was to release
Oh,
early.
oh, oh,
That's what I'm talking
being
about.
rushed. You mean rushed? Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's yeah. Mm. Quite honestly, I think Xbox needs to stay focused on this generation and
They
getting
already wait. Did you
this
not
shit
hear
up to
the
par.
rumors that they already gave up on this
Oh,
generation?
I know. They did the same thing last generation, where they gave
So
up halfway through, and they were
they
just like,
did.
we're gonna focus on the next one. And I'm just like, how many times are we gonna repeat this pattern and not just do what the other two big did when they had their bad
Hey, when your
generation?
fans stick around for 10, 15 years through dog shit, they're like, man, they ain't going nowhere. They've already fucking.
Yeah, I mean, because not Xbox, but Nintendo and PlayStation both had their quote unquote bad generations. With Nintendo was the Wii U, with PlayStation it was the PS3, and they both were getting their ass kicked, essentially. And what happened? They didn't give up and be like, oh well. They turned that shit around, and when how Nintendo turned it around with the Switch, right? Like they use what they learned from the original Wii, and their ideas. They're essentially being the godfathers of handhelds, and made the Switch. They took what they learned and made one of the most successful consoles ever. And then PlayStation, they picked their asses up at the PS3 at the very end of the tail end. They realized what they were doing wrong. They started grinding, right? And then the PS4 came out and smashed everybody, right? And just Xbox just hasn't learned anything like the other two. Like, they had their Xbox One, and you would think, okay, they would take what they learned, what they did with the from the 360, take the failings that they had from the Xbox One, and then use that to all that knowledge and culminate into a better console for the Series X and a better plan for the Series X and S generation. And once again, they're doing essentially, well, at least when it comes to the console front, they're doing worse than the Xbox One. Like, they're doing better in terms of having more games and first party games, which is fantastic. But those games still aren't apparently appealing enough for anybody to invest in the ecosystem and the console like that. So it's just, I don't really know what the hell Xbox's problem is. Like, why can't they get their shit together like everybody else? And I guess this is their Hail Mary with trying to release shit now on PlayStation and Nintendo. And this is their next plan. I'm like I said, I'm curious to see what the speech is going to be that Sarah's going to give. Like,
Yeah.
I, I'm curious to see like the breakdown and their reasoning, and if it's going to go any further, if they have plans for this to go, or this is just stopping at of course, I don't think it's just stopping at hi-fi and
No, you don't.
No,
You
it's
don't
Series.
just.
not. It's not.
No,
It's
it's
not.
I'm
that's
curious to
But
hear
crazy.
what their plan is. Like, if they have like a plan like every 3 months, or every 2 years,
I
or if it's
do
just going to be
think.
case by case. Like, I'm really curious to see what they're going to say
But
about this.
but but they but here's the thing. First they buy Bethesda, yeah, or Cinemax, and then
Yeah.
they buy Activision Blizzard Entertainment, the whole shebang,
Hmm.
and then they fire close to 2,000 people.
Yeah.
What is their end game though?
Money.
Yeah. I
Third,
mean,
That's
it's
true.
always
becoming
money.
third party
Money.
publisher, becoming third party publisher.
You
I
gotta,
mean,
so you gotta stop
But
saying that
also
phrase. Oh,
another
wait, wait,
thing.
wait.
One
You gotta
second.
stop saying that phrase, bro. Because third party publisher is going to a way where it's basically stating they would no longer be a platform holder or producer. We're not at that point. Like they
Okay,
haven't stopped
what
Xbox.
what do they become then?
I mean, they're still a publisher. That period. But they're not they're not Ubisoft. Like they're still a platform holder until they stop
But
making Xbox. That's not going to change.
but there is so but they're stepping in an uncharted territory with this one.
I mean,
It's not really
they've been doing that.
Uncharted because they've been releasing other games, their games on other systems. I mean, we look at Minecraft and things of that nature.
Minecraft
They've
Minecraft
been.
is an IP they don't own. But
Oh,
Hi-Fi they
What are you
own it.
talking about? They do
no,
own
no, no, no. They
Minecraft.
own
No,
they
no,
own
no, no.
Minecraft,
They
sir.
do own
I mean
Minecraft.
before. I'm talking about Minecraft as an IP they didn't create or own in the
Well, they
past.
don't
I
create none
mean,
of their IP. That don't matter.
Yeah, they didn't
no,
create Gears of War
The,
either.
the paychecks,
but
yeah, they didn't
Hi-Fi.
create none of that shit. They didn't create
So,
Halo either. They bought that
They
shit
didn't
in
create Hi-Fi
development.
either.
But
Hi-Fi
okay,
was created
I
before
think,
they bought.
I think,
yeah,
I think what
exactly. They don't
I
create
think what
anything.
I
They still get the money from it.
look, look. I have a I have a theory, and it's gonna be interesting if you guys believe in it or not. Back
Probably
in
not.
the heyday, there was a comment from Phil Spencer where he said he want to create game on the level of Horizon Zero Dawn, not Forbidden West, Zero Dawn. Then what happened later down the road? We saw the reveal for Hellblade 2. We saw the reveal for Halo. We saw the reveal for State of Decay 3. We saw the reveal for Everwild. I truly, and this is, it might be stupidity on my end to think like that. I truly believe Phil Spencer thought it was that easy to create games on the level of Horizon.
No, he
And
didn't think that was
and
that easy.
listen, and when it turns out that it's not, he couldn't have another crackdown, which is which kept getting delayed, which is why he showed there was a rumor that he was gonna release Halo when they first showcased it gameplay wise, but because of Craig meme, uh, they forced it 1 year later, one
Mm,
year delay, and
another crackdown. Huh?
they
No,
Hmm.
pulled
okay, go on.
Well, did
they
Forza seem ready? I mean,
one
outside of
second,
it's funny.
one
Hi-Fi.
second.
Okay.
They put Everwild on ice to the point that that shit apparently got reported 2 or 3 times. And then State of Decay 3, we haven't seen shit from it. Not to mention, where the fuck is what's that game
Perfect
that
Dark.
yes, thank you. Perfect Dark.
Okay.
So what feels for me is Phil Spencer have just given up. And do you remember that interview when he did about a damage control for um, what's that game name? The
Redfall.
one Red. Thank you, Redfall. He literally said we did mock reviews, and that shit was sitting on 8. I truly believe he thought he could do it. But after seeing what happened with Redfall, after we seeing how even if you release a game such as Hi-Fi, which apparently he's a fan of, and it did well, it just didn't sell well. They are not touching the industry. They're not
Okay,
touching
I
PlayStation.
can I say something? You said
Go
you didn't
ahead.
want
Now say what you want to say.
another crackdown, but okay, what happened? We had Bleeding Edge, we had Redfall. I mean, that's kind of the pattern there. You know that's the level of games that they've been dropping. So I don't know if Phil really cares. You know, I mean,
He
you can
cares.
say any.
He cares. He doesn't have the capacity to do
Listen,
it. He doesn't
this
have
is
the
this is how I feel.
developer.
Look, he's fully aware that these type of games aren't easy because if they were, Xbox wouldn't have been able to do it. Like it's not that he thinks they're easy. Like I don't think, and you're associating like the trailers like the CGI trailers with State of Decay and Everwild. The reason he did that is because we have to remember back in 2020 they didn't have any launch games. So in order to get people enticed into the Xbox ecosystem and to invest in Game Pass and to invest in the Xbox Series S and X, they had to show them something, right?
Exactly.
Like we have to, okay, we don't have any launch games, but hey, here's the roadmap for Xbox. So here's a trailer for State of Decay. Here's a trailer
Nah, they didn't
for
announce that being delayed till after though.
yeah, of course. But I'm saying to
They
get
were
them
gonna launch
enticed
that shit at launch.
and get them, into the ecosystem, they had to show people something. Like you can't just launch a console and be like, okay, we have no games and we have no roadmap, so buy us. Like, no, they had to have a showcase. So they put some trailers together first. That's why they outsourced that trailer for fucking State of Decay 3. Right? They had to hurry up and put that together. They put together the Everwild trailer because we know they slapped that together because again they came out and said we don't fucking know what this game is going to be. So obviously that was a Hail Mary and they had to put something out there to again show that Xbox had some games coming, right? So then they put the Halo trailer together, that trailer, all these trailers, Perfect Dark, all that shit. All that was to entice people into the Xbox's ecosystem and to show them like, hey,
Yeah, that
we don't have games day one, but we're gonna have something coming down the line. Like, we don't worry, we're gonna have some Xbox games. So that wasn't to copy Horizon or anything like that. That was just trying to get people excited about Xbox and get people to invest. Now, like I said, Phil, he knows what, like, listen, he knows, he's been in the game industry a long time. He's been in with Xbox before he became the head of Xbox. Like he knows what it takes to make a good game. He knows it's not easy. I'll say that. I'll say he might not necessarily know what it
yeah, he
takes,
ain't
but he
never
knows
done
it's
one.
not easy. Yeah, because if it was, Xbox would be pumping out A quality games all the fucking time. So he knows, well, he's well aware that the process to make a AAA game and to make a successful AAA game is not an easy one. But I agree with what you're saying about they have an inability to almost vet their own games and to know when something is going to be good and when it's not. Like you said, he played Halo before and he was excited about it. He was happy about it. Oh, I can't wait for
Apparently
you
he
guys to
played
play it.
Redfall too.
Yeah. And then people saw Halo and they were like, wait a minute, Craig, why does it look like this? This is and then boom, what happened? Like you said, they delayed it. And then Redfall, he said, the internal team tested it. It tested higher in the 80s or something. And it came
Mm-hmm.
out and that's, surprised him. I don't know if he himself played the game because, he has people, testers to do that shit and they give him the report and they tell him all these things. So I don't know if he himself played the game or not, but like you said, his team or, the team he has that test games and give a metric of where they fall, that it was
They said
higher.
Redfall was a banger.
Even
Right.
Starfield, he gave it an okay, and look what that turned out to
Yeah,
be.
Starfield wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't the game it needed to be. That's
No,
the
but
issue.
Starfield. But I have a question: is Starfield a step back to a Fallout or Elder Scroll?
Is it a step back?
Yeah,
I mean, you'd have to ask Nate. I don't really play those games, so
I
you'd
will
have.
ask Innate. I'll have Innate answer that after you're done.
Um, he can answer it. I don't know if he's here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think so in the sense that the way some people reacted so extremely to it. I think it's just built differently, and that's the problem people really had with it because, like I said, and I had this conversation with Morgan at one point. The way Bethesda's games are normally built is on a single map with like 10,000 interest points. This thing was built on a galaxy where all the interest points are basically spread out, and if you can't coordinate that correctly, it essentially bothers or annoys certain people, which is why you see that. But no, I don't particularly think it's a step back. I just
Mm-hmm.
think they underestimated how all this stuff has to be coordinated for some people to get the same feeling that they get out of, a Fallout or something like that, because all their stuff was
Mm-hmm.
interest point based, and it still is. It's just all spread out on this massive map now, as opposed to you walking down
Mhm.
the street and you finding dog meat, the beloved canine, at the gas station, and you find every single interest point in the map was like chock full of shit to do. and things to discover, like everything, because it was a single
Mm-hmm.
map, and no matter how big they made it, it always had a ton of those. But in this case, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's spread out among all the, the thousand planets or whatever, and that's where the issue came in, and they just didn't think about how that was going to affect people. And I've had this conversation with Morgan and Priscilla specifically about people playing open world games wrong, and those are just open world. So like stuff like Horizon and stuff, where people would complain about pacing and stuff like that, and it's like I can already tell you what their issue was, and I know what they did wrong. But that's the problem with open world games with side quests and stuff, is that people can play them in almost any order and do
Mm-hmm.
things, you know, anything they want, and then
Mm-hmm.
that ends up, hey, if this person gets stuck doing this side quest, they're like, oh, I'm going to complete all these before I move on. Well, now they're
Yeah,
bored, and
yeah,
that's essentially what happens to a lot of people when they play something um like Starfield. So that's why you see these extreme views where, me and Priscilla specifically have loved the Fallout series and so on for years. But we also know how to play the games, and I like this is like this goes back to the whole thing where people say, if you've ever heard the phrase, there's no such thing as a bad question or something, which is completely a lie. There's definitely the such thing as a bad question, because if you ask the wrong question, you're not going to get the answer you want, right? Like, so yes, there's a such thing as a bad question, and yes, you can play an open world game the wrong way. So I don't think people realize that, and that has a lot to do with the design mechanics of the game and kind of how they push or coax you into certain things. But as you've
mm-hmm.
seen from other people and how they play it, that doesn't always work, and people go off and they go do other stuff, and eventually, maybe they don't complete the game. Again, these are all game design mechanic related things and how you push the player to do certain things, but depending on how much freedom you give them, um, you could potentially run into an issue where, like you said, people do largely feel that it's a step back. And you've seen some of the stories, and some of the modders are like, I'm not going to mod for this game because I can't believe they made this trash, and blah blah blah. And it's like, I don't disagree with the person. I get where they're coming from, because like I said, the more you open up a space and the more space you give people to play, the more you give them a chance to ruin their personal experience playing your game. I personally didn't have that problem, but yeah, I mean, that's where you're running into that issue.
I see. What's your thought on this whole conversation?
On the whole conversation,
Yeah, give us your thoughts in general. But
man,
you didn't play Starfield, so you can't cover that part. But Xbox and Xbox and my theory, what Xbox wanted to do. Do you agree with it, or are you more with Morgan on it?
the the thing is that your theory is that they're going to go full third party.
No, no, no. My theory is that they wanted to do something on the level of Horizon, or rather on
Okay, yeah.
PlayStation, but they didn't have the talent for it, and they took an L on it to such degree that they actually had to
Well,
pivot.
I'm a bit more cynical to the point that they don't really care, because what I see, for example, when they threw out Redfall, like we there before those games drop, even before those games got a release date, there were rumors that they had to drop those games in that year to appease their shareholders because they hadn't
Mm-hmm.
had nothing the year before. So they were going to release those games in any state they were in, right? So didn't fucking care. So with Redfall, he saw this game was not ready to be released, and he released it anyway because they had to. And yeah, I mean, I think based on what was said about the game, probably no amount of development time would have saved that game. But it is apparent that they don't really care about the quality of their games. And the thing is that that's also a Game Pass effect, right? Because what do you hear every time they drop a game that's below expectations? Well, it doesn't
Well, it's a
matter.
Game
In
It's in
Game
Pass.
Game
Pass,
Pass. Yeah, exactly. So they're cultivating the type of gamer that, well, it's not really a gamer. They don't even play the games, but they don't fucking care. They don't care if those games are garbage because well, they're consuming this in a way an effective strategy because you see it's similar to Netflix, right? Because Netflix obviously has a couple of gems, but the thing is people generally identify them with those titles that like Stranger Things, right? That
Mm-hmm.
they some point brought out and have sort of milked them by continuously releasing new seasons, and but they also have a lot of garbage, right? They're also bringing out some good things, but there's a lot of garbage, right? There's definitely a type of movie that was too bad to be released in cinema, but had some, name attached to it, and they thought, yeah, let's buy it.
Snyder.
Yeah, exactly. You read
Mm.
my mind, Morgan. But yeah, I mean that's very typical because you know people are apparently less upset of getting that garbage quality because they kind of feel like they're not paying for it, and like I think that's sort of what the strategy is of Game Pass, and that sort of it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt them as much because those games are essentially it is meaningless, right? If they're going to drop a high quality game that could have sold 20 million, or yeah, it's maybe an exaggeration. Let's say 10 million or whatever. It's going to be a waste anyway because that game is not going to make that money because it's going to be day and day in their subscription service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, but to
No, go
to
ahead.
go off of what we've said, like it's so sad because I see that sentiment like all over Twitter. Not everybody has it, but I've seen a lot of Xbox fans like, oh, it's no big deal if a game is okay or mid or bad because hey, I didn't have to pay for it. It's in Game Pass, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Exactly. Just wait for the next one.
is that really the precedent that y'all want to set for your service? Like, don't you want the
They
best
did.
of
They
the
did
best
that. They did it to themselves.
games? And it's like I even saw David Jaffe after I watched a little snippet of him after he watched the state
Oh
of play.
my god, that video was like, you
He wasn't
do not
impressed.
respect
He
the
was he
time at
was
Nelson,
he
all.
was
wait. Nelson, let her
no, it's fine.
talk.
He
We
wasn't
sh-
he wasn't impressed by the state of play, and
he wasn't?
he no he
Interesting.
thinks
So what did he
he think
say?
he thinks PlayStation is losing essentially, but he was saying how
Losing
he
what?
at gaming, I suppose. He's just like they're not interesting to him as much as Xbox is
Mm.
this year.
Okay.
But what he was saying was he liked the way, for example, Helldivers 2 looked, but he said he would have been more excited if that was an Xbox exclusive over a PlayStation. And he said
Eh?
What?
yeah. He
Yo,
said
Yeah, because you
because
don't
this
have to pay
dude.
for
like
it. So if you
hold on,
don't
let me
like it,
finish.
fuck it.
He
Wait.
said
This
he's
dude is
hold
Oh,
on.
bitter.
Omar,
Hold
let
Hold
me
on,
finish.
hold on. He said not because of an allegiance to Xbox or anything like that, because he prefers playing on games on PlayStation because he likes the DualSense better. But he said essentially because if it was Xbox first party, it would have been on Game Pass. And he says he's more
Ah.
okay with accepting because even though he thinks the game is going to be good, he was like he's more accepting to jump into something if it's on Game Pass and give it a try, of course, because there's a low, you know.
Damn.
And he was like, I'll accept mid to below mid or something like that if it's on Game Pass. And I said, see, this is the precedent they're setting. Like they will take trash if it's on fucking Game Pass because
But
hey,
how do
I
you
didn't
know
have
it's
to
mid?
invest.
How is
He
he
doesn't.
knowing
He
He
it's
doesn't.
mid
He
doesn't.
said
and below
he
mid?
doesn't want to. And he said he's not willing to invest the $50 into Helldivers to give it a try to see if it's good or not. He said it didn't make enough of a splash to him to want to be like, okay, I'll give it $50. Like he said, it looks good, but not $50 good. Like it's not. It didn't look good enough for him to invest the 50.
And it's
And he
crazy
said,
that he didn't even
It's
say
only 40, by the
PlayStation
way. It's
Plus.
only 40 bucks.
yeah, it's 40 or
But
50. Yeah, something like that.
did he not say put it on PlayStation Plus or anything? Did he
Uh,
specifically say Game Pass?
Yeah, he
Which
said Game
is
Pass.
Bro,
crazy.
that
Yeah,
motherfucker is a Game Pass super fan. So
yeah,
yeah.
he's a super fan,
Yeah, you know
and
what's funny?
he
Don't play none of the
essentially,
games.
yeah, he essentially stated exactly what we've said about where he said, like, almost word for word, like, he's basically okay with taking a game that's mid to okay to good to bad because it's on Game Pass, and he has no problem doing that. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
why
absolutely
do y'all
not.
want to set that precedent? That's not, just because you don't pay a lot for something doesn't mean it shouldn't be good. Like okay,
No,
Exactly.
if I pay for
this
food, I don't care how much I pay for it. I want the food to be fucking good. Like,
this
I'll, like, bro,
this
this shit is crazy.
mindset I understand from gamers, but an actual developer,
Yeah, he was
I
just
mean,
like,
let's be
yeah.
real. This man is salty and retired.
he is so like nah.
This man has done everything in
He's like,
his
if my trash
podcasting
would have been
days
on
to shit
Game
on
Pass, I'd
everybody.
still have a job. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's just trying so hard to like every success PlayStation releases to just try and shit on it and be like it doesn't matter and try to like amplify anything
Well, he
Xbox
claims he's
releases.
not salty. He said he's not salty. He
Oh, well, I'm
said,
sure he
you
did
know,
claim that.
he loves plenty of PlayStation games, and people. He's like, people say, oh, I'm bitter because I don't work. He's like, listen, I got job offers, like, and I'm consulting on some games. If I wanted to work in the industry, I could. I don't choose to because I like doing this and I like doing YouTube. So
Yeah, no.
that's his
So
claim.
I'm gonna tell you
He
right now, he's full of shit because
Uh-huh.
yeah
you can work in the industry that doesn't mean you want to work on the projects you're getting offered. You're not working on Ghost of Tsushima 2, and you're not working on these new major IPs that PlayStation's working on. Yeah, like there's a reason, you know what I mean. You're not gonna comment on the stuff that you're consulting on and stuff. Like we're not just talking about being in the industry. We're talking about being on some of the best games that come out, each year, not just being in the industry because somebody out there is making Dora the Explorer 57. That's not what we're talking about. Like, so
Hmm.
yeah, so he could
yeah
kick rocks with that bullshit telling me he's not,
um
what I'm saying, at least somewhat. Um, but yeah, I mean, of course he's that way because, and this is something I told people. I was like, don't mistake, and this is the thing that people do, don't mistake someone who's worked in the industry as having taste because a lot of these motherfuckers don't have taste and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to actually gaming.
Oh
um,
man.
just because he worked in the industry. I don't know why people think people who worked in the industry actually know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to actually having taste in
because
gaming.
the developers
Yeah, that shit doesn't matter. Plenty of developers
Yeah.
spend their entire career making
clearly
trash.
clearly I still can't wrap my mind around. I what you know what I think? He really needed Game Pass for him with that dog shit game that he released on PlayStation that didn't do well.
No, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. He thinks people will accept that kind of stuff if it's
Yeah,
on there because he will.
Yep.
And that like they don't have a choice. Like I said, that's the problem is like on a service like that, you don't have a choice but to play whatever they give you
yeah,
if you're not ultimately going to invest, which like I said, ultimately will show whether or not some of these companies, like I said, we haven't gotten there yet, but like obviously like I said, Sega has been giving them a ton of stuff for Game Pass,
yep.
but come, what I'm saying, first off, with Infinite Wealth, you're going to see ultimately how that sale splits out.
Do
And
we know what
then
amount of sale? Because
we
we
don't
know
we
it's
don't know
over a
yet.
mil.
We don't know yet.
We
So
know it's over a mil. Okay,
yeah, but and then eventually with Metaphor coming
that's
later,
gonna be it.
yeah, like like these are the two tests to see within those two franchises that are
Yep.
big for Sega right now. Ultimately, is it going to be worth investing in releasing games for Xbox in the future, and whether or not Microsoft is going to have to continue to foot the bill because their fan base essentially doesn't show up to purchase anything. And most likely they won't because you have
Yeah,
cultivated people to act the way that David Jaffe is acting and basically being like, I don't want to invest in any of this shit. And you're cultivating dumb shit like people who say, free, free in Game Pass and all that dumb shit. Like they think it's funny. Like, and it's like,
Oh, I hate that phrasing. The game is free. Like, no, you're
no, it's
paying
not.
for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you
And
said, like
that
200
that
something
that
dollars
that
a
is
year.
what motivates that mindset of, oh, I don't care because I'm getting these games for free. Like, no,
No, you're not.
you're
Yeah.
still paying.
and what hurt even if they have the money. It's not like they don't have the money.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
just
plenty
choose
of
to.
these people have it, and they just don't want to invest.
Yeah,
And
they don't
then,
want to invest in it because they don't love gaming. And
well,
I,
and then, like I said, like the other thing I told a lot of people, some people mistake a lot of people who have gamed as long as a lot of us have as actually having taste or understanding what they like. I've seen plenty of people, um, who ultimately have I can tell and have ultimately admitted they really just don't know what the fuck they want to play, um, which is why they try to and I've seen this deflection come out in a lot of things where they try to diminish the importance of story and other things and just be like, oh, gameplay is just important and all that other shit is like a bonus. And it's like, you say that, but then these are the same people I see on my timeline who, when it comes to completing games, they've completed absolutely fucking nothing. So
mm,
it's like, okay, so you clearly don't even know what you like, but you're over here trying to tell people that, stories and character development and world building in gaming is completely irrelevant or unimportant, and all that matters is gameplay. And it's like, you realize the game, or games in general, are the sum of their parts, right? Like, you don't want everything else to be shitty. That's like saying, I just want really good tires and suspension on my car and everything else could be shitty. Like, that makes no sense. Like, like a car, you want all the products in your vehicle to be quality. Um, like, but again, to me, that always comes off as a way for people to dismiss, um, the games that do have all those things going for them, right? Um, and sadly enough, not that this game in particular is bad or anything, but these are the type of people who are jumping on to play Power World, and it being $26.99 or in Game Pass is what gives them the, the ability to feel like that low entry cost to just jump in and play whatever and bullshit and then be like, oh, I could just stop playing whatever and not worry about it. These people have, I don't know if it's an extreme version of ADHD or whatever it is, but I've seen that sentiment more and more lately. And it just seems like there's a ton of people out here who really just have no actual discernible taste and entirely depend on, FOMO of a game being popular on their timeline and then kind of coaxing them into playing it, and they just don't know what they actually like. And it's strengthened by stuff like Game Pass. Like, again, David Jaffe in particular, who I've seen, who has basically mentioned this stuff. Like, he just doesn't know. Um, and that's why he, is such a proponent
Yeah, that's the
or of
thing.
it.
Most of his games on there are like he's got 10 minutes, 15 minutes in each one of them. He ain't gotten a quarter of the
Exactly.
way through any of them goddamn.
And that's the problem with a lot of these people. They're, look at all I get. Look at everything I get. And it's like, okay, look at it. You
Don't play
spent
none of them.
yeah, you
um,
spent total time in 57 games, as I did in one game that I actually completed that I thoroughly enjoyed, and you didn't enjoy none of that shit.
yeah,
And
they,
you got a little enjoyment off of it. That's another thing, right? That Power World is hot, right? Like, me and Priscilla are playing it just fine, right? I'm not going to tell everybody and their grandmother to run out and play it and go crazy, but it's fine. But most of these people talked about Power World for about 10 minutes. They've gone in like, hey, make these setting changes and do this and that, but they're not heavily invested in this, like, for the next year even. Like, most of them are not even going to be talking about Power World come, next month or the month after, unless they release like a major update. And then they'll jump back in it for a minute and they'll just go about their business doing
Mm.
whatever. And this is ultimately why, what funny enough, it happens to be on the screen. They're all still foaming at the mouth for stuff like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because ultimately they acknowledge that these games are just head and shoulders above the rest of the trash. Um, and that's what they really want out there. They want it on Game Pass. They wish
they
they
want
could.
rebirth. They want remakes. They haven't touched remake on PC.
Yeah, they want these things, and it's like it's just an attempt to belittle or placate that, belittle the difference in quality with these games that come from PlayStation or some of these other developers and stuff. And it's like, uh, you know, Persona 3 Reload is extremely well done. But that's a prime example, though, coming forward. Do you think that, their people are going to be willing to invest in, Metaphor ReFantazio when it
No,
comes out? No, because they're going to
No.
be like, no, it should be in Game Pass because I deserve
Yeah.
that. Because again, this is the fan base you're cultivating, and it's going to get
Mm-hmm.
slaughtered, and it's going to be like 90% sales PlayStation, and like the other
Mm-hmm.
10% is going to be PC. But again,
Mm-hmm.
PC at least makes themselves relevant enough that it's worth them putting the games on PC, which is why PC has not had to beg for any JRPGs going forward because every single time they've given them JRPGs, they've supported them heavily, and
Grand
Xbox
Blue,
fans have not. Exactly.
we
Grand Blue's the
have.
second, only the second JRPG to have over 100,000 concurrent players on.
Yeah, we actually have numbers. 100,000 in what? 2 days, 3 days, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's concurrent. We don't know the total number. That's just concurrent playing right now.
Yeah. So Nelson, go ahead. What's your thoughts on what's happening?
That's it. But I mean, pretty much what Nate said. That's. I mean, we've kind of known this. Like with Jaffe, when Morgan said that, I knew exactly where she was going, because it was like when I heard that, I was like, bro, you don't just you just want to like. It's kind of like if you go to a restaurant, food, you just want to go and take a bite of everything, and then leave. You know what I mean? He want to try the wine. He don't want to buy a bottle.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he wants everything to be the Asian buffet. You know
Yeah,
that
exactly.
we all got in our
But
towns. We
he
all
don't even
have
get a
one.
full scoop though. He gets like an ounce of everything. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah,
don't ever get a.
he's that person that comes back to the table with that big ass plate with
He ain't never
everything
gonna
on
play
it.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
It never finishes.
And yes, exactly.
never
And they
finishes
never
none of them.
finish any of them, and you get this plate with all these scraps
They
on it.
realize it all tastes bad, but they got to try everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hey, I got it at a cheap price. The buffet was only like $10, so shit, fuck it.
yeah. As opposed
Yeah.
to something like Hell's
Well,
Kitchen,
what
you
did you
go for
like?
an
What did you like?
experience
Well,
to
none of
enjoy
it really, but it
everything.
was only $10.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. You go to a
So
place
Okay.
where you're going to get an escalated experience, you know, at a particular restaurant for something specific to enjoy your meal, right? Like, and you're going to love that experience and the food and everything that comes with it. And it's like that's what actually, you know, gets cultivated on PlayStation and a lot of third party companies. But again, they want to treat those games like, you know, the buffet. Why aren't you on the buffet? I'd try you if you were on the buffet, but I don't want to pay for you, you know, and get the enjoyment, you know, of all the hard work that you put into this. Like that's what's crazy.
so switching topic very quick. There is a lot of disaster when it comes to um Suicide Squad launch. Not all of it from the game itself. Some of it is actually from IGN. IGN have been one of the most constantly hating on it because they haven't gotten a review copy. They spoiled the ending. They shared video about spoiling the ending. Twice have they done so, and they've just went full uh, against it, which I have no issue with it until the spoiling for the ending part. That's where you lose me. Other than that, Suicide Squad um, at launch or either early access people or something like that. They played the game, and when they played the game, they got the ending right away. So these people apparently got contemplated with a $20 uh, gift card in shop, and all by all, from what I have seen from Suicide Squad, is for me atrocious because if this was the other way around and people want to chalk that up to bad guy doing bad things, like, no, thank you very much. No, absolutely not. If you have sexual assault in or harassment, whatever you want to say it, in a video game and you think that's okay, like, no. I don't know how this scene was even allowed to exist. Between
Yeah,
that
I don't know what
and
you're talking about, but I'm about to
okay,
abstain from this whole topic for the record.
okay, so what's her name? The twin. put her hand on main character ass after he literally specifically tells her, no, don't.
What game are you talking about?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, apparently.
I didn't even know. Oh, I
None
wasn't
of us
aware
are
of that.
playing this game, so I mean, I don't think any of us really give a fuck,
Oh,
to be
Yeah,
honest.
but
Omar,
also,
you're kind of
what?
the thing is you're kind of missing the context there because I mean that's kind of the least of the words of that game, and it's not that big of a deal because it's a reference to one of the animated movies where they had a relationship. So it's just an Easter egg.
It doesn't matter.
There you go.
Okay,
There you go. Thank you, Weeb.
okay. Okay. What about how they treated every tournament? People are gonna make their own opinion about this game. For me, from what I've seen, I said this is gonna be dead on arrival, and I was right. It's sitting at 60 something on meta, and I'm curious if the number gonna go up or stay down, stay low. And
Oh no.
sadly, another game released, not broken, but couldn't even release well. And long behold, it's in another live service game. And this is the future, ladies and gentlemen. This is the future. So I'm gonna say very quick. Nate, what's your thoughts on Suicide Squad as a whole?
I
Not the
mean,
game, because you haven't played it,
I
but
have played
the
the game.
controversy around it. Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah, I played it and I fucking hated it, which is why we decided not to get it and we decided to skip it overall
No, I'm
entirely.
talking about the main game, not the
It
beta
doesn't
or
matter. It
whatsoever.
plays the same
Man,
way.
that beta plays the same damn way.
I've literally seen people play it. It plays the same way. That doesn't change.
Okay.
The traversal
Okay.
mechanic is exactly the same. The mission structure we went through is exactly the same. None of that
Mm-hmm.
changes. So, like I said, the game is trash. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if other people are having fun with it because they're playing with their friends or whatever, I don't really give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to change my opinion. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people, like I said, anytime, and I've said this before, anytime people have to sit there and tell me something is, they say words like, or phrases like, oh man, it's just pure fun, and all this stuff. Like, I'm just like, you're overly trying to convince me that something is fun by stating it's fun. Um, yeah, I'm not falling for the bullshit.
The
Uh,
whole,
By
I'm not a
not giving
fan
an
of the
example why
gameplay or
it's
the
fun.
story, but I mean,
Yeah.
overall, it's just pure fun. I'm like, wait,
exactly.
huh?
Yeah, like,
That tells me, okay, that's fine. And there's plenty of games like that that I agree that, are fun.
yeah,
But when you're putting an entry level point of $70 on a game, it can't just be, well, it's just pure fun. Like,
and
no, no, no,
Oh
no. That shit
yeah.
got to be fantastic.
That
$70,
game is
bitch,
$70.
that shit better be $70 worth of. It can't be no just, you got to ignore all the other factors, but you just get to the base of it. It's just fun. Okay, that's
I,
fine. That sounds like a $30 price tag to me for that.
exactly.
that's a free to play price tag to me.
Yeah, on top of it,
Shoot, even
having
that.
microtransactions and all the other stuff. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I mean, it launched, the autocomplete mess, them having to take it down for like 15 to 20 hours to fix the game. So people, who missed out on the 72-hour launch period. Like, I don't know, the game's just been a mess from start to finish. I mean, I think it's going to sell okay, just because some people have, more money than they have sense. Um, like I've frequently seen several people like, just because everybody's hating on it, I decided to buy this game, and I
Yeah, I
was
see
like,
that.
yeah, I'm like, okay, so you decided to be a dumbass, like, and
Hmm.
buy something you were either on the fence about for a reason,
I
or
mean,
ultimately deciding not to purchase it, and you used people not liking the game as a reason to jump in on it. Like, I don't know,
if you
that
have the
that's the weirdest
money,
shit.
hey,
But that's what I'm saying.
if they
Like,
have the
but these
money,
same
hey.
people I've seen also on my timeline bitching about the amount of games coming out and the money they're spending, and then it's like, but then you go and waste
Mm,
$80 picking up the deluxe edition of this game that you were on the fence about or not really considering. Like, that's the shit that gets on my nerves with people. Um,
mm-hmm.
like, look, I'm like, if you got money to bullshit and just randomly purchase something because, oh, it's, a lot of people don't like this game, so I'm gonna buy it, then I don't want to hear you bitching about money to purchase anything for the rest of the fucking year. Like, I'm
Mm,
sorry, because you wasted money actively and admitted it, and then, like, yeah, like, so gamers get on my nerves with that shit too.
mm.
But yeah,
Okay,
don't care.
Morgan, what's your thought?
Um, Yeah, after shout out to WB for putting out that alpha because I would have bought that shit. So thank you for helping me dodge a bullet. Um,
Oh, would
just
you
because
have
it's
supported it
yeah, I
if
mean
you
I
didn't?
love Rocksteady. So yeah,
Ah.
like I mean I was a big fan of the Arkham series. So yeah, I was gonna support it because I thought them being the vets or some of the vets of the Arkham series that we were gonna get some of that Arkham touch to
Mm.
it.
So this was a case where a
And
demo made you not play a game. Okay, I see.
yeah, and yeah, I didn't like the traversal. Didn't care for the combat. Like it got old to me pretty fast within the first like hour or two. I was like, okay, this is getting boring to me. It's getting repetitive. I like I said, I like the character design,
Mm-hmm.
the quality of the game, like the actual like graphics and stuff. It was good. It was a pretty game. I liked the actual characters themselves. I thought they they portrayed who they were you know trying to be with as far as like Harley and Deadshot and King Shark. I thought they the performances were done well.
I do agree with that.
Facial animations done well. But the entire package in itself, it was just boring. Like I just like that's a game I definitely would have played if it was like launched on PS Plus or something, and a co-op game to play with friends. Sure, waste some
Mm.
time. Let's waste a couple hours with it. But for $70, absolutely the fuck not.
Also,
Um,
the one it came out like with Grand Blue and Persona. Like, how you
yeah,
gonna
I
launch?
mean, honestly, even if it came out by itself, I still wouldn't have bought that shit. Like
Mm.
that's not worth the money. I think it will sell based purely upon DC, it being a
The
DC
IP?
IP and known well known characters and Rocksteady's reputation. I think it will sell off of that. I don't think it'll do gangbusters, but I think it'll do
Mm.
well. It'll do well enough. Um, Unfortunately, but I all I gotta say is I miss the old Rocksteady. Uh,
Yeah,
this ain't I don't really care. I'm not on a proponent because there's different degrees of people who are hating about this. Like there's people out here who are like, oh my god, this is like doing disservice, to Kevin Connery and his legacy. This is like his last voice acting, and oh my god, you guys are disrespecting. I'm like, y'all doing too much. Like that's it's not that serious. Y'all are trying to use this deceased man as part of your war, and it's like it's stupid. I don't agree with that.
mm-hmm.
I don't have an issue with the Justice League dying. I don't. I mean, they've died multiple times in different different comics. It doesn't matter. Like, I need people to calm down. And there's multiple universes, so if they wanted to bring this motherfucker back, they could. Like, I mean, the Gotham Knights universe isn't even connected to this one, so it's just like if they want to bring him back, they can in any fucking time. Like it's not that serious. I don't really care. And the people who like it's just people upset because they died, and I'm just like, why? It is what it is. Like it's I don't like I said, that's not my issue with the game. It's just I find the game unenjoyable. And
I
if it
see.
ever comes to PS Plus, I might, maybe give it another try. Maybe like especially if it's like a dry spell going on, sure. Maybe I'll pop it in and see if they made any kind of quality of life improvements that made me enjoy the game a little bit more. But I am not investing my money into this game.
I
So
see.
yes.
Weeb, what about you?
Well, here's the thing. It's not just it's not about them disrespecting the characters or anything. It's that it's just a fucking bad game. Like
Absolutely.
if like I think the thing that sort of upsets me about the whole Kevin Conroy thing is that yeah, that's the last game he's voicing Batman in, and look, it's not that they knew that he was gonna die or whatever, but the thing is like this is sort of like Raul Julia all over again. Basically, Rocksteady is Raul Julia's kids. If you don't know who he is, then that's your problem. But basically, he is a guy who played M Bison in the Street Fighter movie. Was his last role. The man was a brilliant actor, and that's the last thing he ever did because his kids convinced him to do it. So
Mm,
that's kind of how I feel about this. Technically, it's not, by the way, the last Batman performance of
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy because there's one coming in an animated form.
Mm-hmm.
um, which probably will be good. But yeah, the thing is like, yeah, from what I've heard about how the story goes, like it's so obvious that they're trying to milk this, that they're having seasons and they're trying to, yeah, if you want to have like a satisfying ending, yeah, you have to buy, the expansions. And the problem is that, you don't know if you're ever going to reach that point, because based on the way the reception of this game, the critical receptions, and that probably will translate in its commercial reception, this game is going to be dead in a few months, right? They're not
I
Oh
going
wouldn't
to
be
yeah,
make.
surprised.
this is
Hmm.
Avengers 2.0, like I said
Yeah,
it.
or
But wait,
you
wait,
know
wait. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is the actual ending of the game locked behind a DLC that yet to be made,
no,
or
no,
is it?
I'm not, no, I'm not saying it, but the thing is like, there's going to be expansions. Like there's a roadmap, right? So
Hmm?
obviously there's going to be more content there. And the thing is, from what I know about the ending,
Yeah, the
it's
ending was
not a,
terrible.
yeah, it's terrible. It's not a pretty satisfying ending. So my bet is that they're going to basically give you the true ending once you go through
Mm.
all those expansions. But I highly doubt they will ever reach that. I think this game is going to be abandoned. Like, they're not going to spend money on developing expansions for a game that's essentially dead, right? That nobody's going to play.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, this game was dead on arrival as soon as they announced it as being a service game. Like, I knew that from the moment. Like, I don't want to be the guy who's gonna tell you, told you so, but yeah, I told you so. Like, this game was trash from the moment they announced
Mm.
it. Like,
Yeah, I said so.
they could have done anything else, right? Like, make a Superman game, make a Justice League game, like make a Suicide Squad game, but just a single player
Single
experience,
player,
or
yeah.
not. Like, you can make it co-op, but you don't have to make it a service game. Like, they're two different things. Look at Grand Blue, right? You don't have to fucking make everything a service game, because we
Mm.
know that's like, there are a few that have made it, but we know that 99% of those are going to be garbage. And the thing is, like,
Mm.
the thing that upsets me and upsets a lot of people is just that this is a studio that has a pedigree, that, okay, maybe Arkham Knight, like, people love to go back to Arkham Knight and say, yeah, that's when, you know these games were still good, like Rocksteady was still good. Like, no, that's kind of where they fell off already, because that game was definitely the least of the Arkham series. But
Yeah.
still, no, it's a masterpiece compared to
Arkham
what was
Knight was
Suicide Squad.
passable at best.
Yeah,
Arkham
Pat.
City
Yeah,
was the best.
it is. Like, but it's still a masterpiece compared to what they delivered with
Oh
this.
yeah,
This,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh
this
man.
piece of
Arkham
garbage. Like,
Arkham Knight is breathing a sigh of relief now that it's no longer tagged as,
yeah,
Rocksteady's
Yeah.
worst.
Hey,
it's kind of like the Star Wars prequels, right? Because
you,
after, like, with the Rise of Skywalker, people like,
Yes. People were
yeah,
like, you
yeah,
know
the
what? I
prequels
guess they weren't so
were
bad.
yeah, wait a minute, they're so
you
bad,
know
they're so bad.
what?
But
You know what the crazy part is? There was a instruction to what not to follow, which is what's the guy's name?
God of Knights,
Avengers.
oh,
And look what happened. They followed the Avengers formula, and it's gonna die 1,000 deaths. Mark my
as it
word.
should.
At the end of before the end of the year, this game is gonna go either free to play, or they're gonna shut servers. It's
But
not gonna
Yeah.
do well.
yeah, th- thank God for Insomniac. At least we have one
Oh
studio
yeah,
that's making
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
great
Them and
AAA
Well,
games.
they
Crystal
actually
Crystal,
elevated
what
their
was it?
game.
Or Adios. Who made Guardians of the Galaxy? Them
Uh,
Uh,
niggas.
IDOS.
I think they just
I
Eidos,
don't,
closed it down
yes.
and
this week,
and
didn't they?
they
Yeah, they got people laid off in that studio. Ugh,
yeah
God.
they put people laid
Yeah, they're
We
done.
ain't never
so
gonna get a Guardians Galaxy 2, man.
yeah,
Like,
we
Yep.
never. That shit was fantastic,
was
You're
underrated.
never gonna
great.
get a Tomb Raider. They're
Oh
gonna go out of business straight up.
yeah,
Hmm.
They're gonna just
Nelson,
sell off stuff and close doors pretty soon.
Nelson, what's your thought on this disaster of a gem?
I'm so glad they had a beta. I'm just like Morgan. I'm like, thanks guys, that saved me a lot of money.
You played it?
Yeah, for like 5 or 6 hours. The beta,
Mm,
whatever.
okay.
Yeah. I was like,
Okay.
sweet. I almost bought that. Woo, thanks.
Okay. Um,
Exactly.
going to our final topic of the evening, it's going to be none other than state of play. Woot from shit to amazing. That's how we do it here. Um,
Love the sound
yeah.
effects, Omar. Great.
What?
I love the sound effects. That was great. He said,
Yeah, that was just my woot. Nah, so it's state of play. I'm gonna very quick go over what I thought interesting or rather impressive. First up is Dragon Dogma 2. Shout out to Dragon Dogma for doing something new and fresh that wasn't done in 1, which is the ability to now switch on the fly between classes, like a mage doing mage stuff and then become an archer in the same instinct. Like, that's gonna make me decide which class to focus on and have 2 playthroughs in one. Like that's gonna be impressive. I'm just curious how that's gonna be done. The only thing that I'm iffy about is the lack of fast travel. Um, and the game being 30, I don't care. Like I never cared about 30 FPS versus 60 FPS, so I'm 12 on that front, and I'm not gonna be impacted. Other than that, Stellarium got a release date, and that shit looking phenomenal. Like I'm Um, like it's almost as if PlayStation saw what Nintendo did with Bayonetta, and they're like, "Okay, fuck you. You guys took Bayonetta. We gotta make our own Bayonetta." And there you have it, Stellar Blade. I'm so excited for this one. Between a new outfit, and new weapons, and new guns, and new skills you can learn and side mission you can do. Like, yeah, throw me in the world and let me destroy some bosses. Other than that, what else was shown? A lot of VR that I didn't care for, only because I don't have any VR to make use of. And yeah, that uh, Silent Hill Ghost. Well, it's not Ghost. It's a horror game. I downloaded it, but I've yet to try it. I have read the people. I've seen people reception of it. Some find it interesting, some find it good, some find it bad. So I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna play it and then decide for my own. But so far, I don't recall what else that was shown. Oh yeah, Helldivers. I missed it, but I am super excited about this game, and that's about it for
you forget
me.
Death Stranding too? Excuse you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
absolutely did. I
Uh,
absolutely did.
Oh God.
the show out, like
I
the most
take,
important thing on that damn show.
I
You better relax.
take,
Jesus Christ.
I absolutely take it out of this one. I absolutely do.
Wow.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes,
so
you do.
Death Stranding, Death fucking Stranding too. Um, the story is I have zero idea what the story is. All I know is I need that shit right now. Or a matter of fact, let him cook.
Yeah, that means he did the story trailer correctly,
Yeah,
because you're not supposed to
I,
know.
I have watched that shit like 14 times. That
I don't
I,
shit
blame
is
you.
just so impressive to me. I love
yeah,
it.
it's impressive. I just want that guitar.
Yeah,
Just
so
I
this is
want
so
that
this is
guitar.
a point I wanted to bring up because someone asked me about this on Twitter and we are having a conversation and I was trying to explain something to him and I'm pretty sure it's in agreement here. But
What?
specifically, I know that I've talked about it with Morgan, but so the person is kind of in the thought process of like why is everybody going crazy about the guitar in particular, but
Because it's cool.
no, it is. But his gripe is that well, there's been guitars as weapons and stuff in other games, and what I ultimately explained to him was like, yeah, but it's not. I was like, I was like, okay, so imagine like you're a big Spider-Man fan, right? Imagine they release a Spider-Man skin and it's the best one ever made or whatever, and it's released in Rainbow Six Siege tomorrow. None of us care. None of us play that game.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to explain to him, the reason people were excited, because this is my thought process, is it's in this world that we've experienced, that we've seen the evolution of the technology and everything that's taken place in this world, and that is something you're interested in. It just happens to be an item you're interested in, on because especially with Kojima, there's never something there for no reason, right? Like there is a how, a why, and who is wielding it, and why is it that particular weapon or that choice, or these different things. And I was like, as much as it also, they gave several examples of guitars being as weapons and stuff, and I was like, but none of those are exactly depicted in the way that the one is in Death Stranding. And when you understand the way things are invented on the chiral network and all the stuff that's happened,
Mm-hmm.
like it is like a completely different beast. Like trying to explain to them, like when you're enthralled and immersed in that world and you understand what takes place and you see what's been created from within that world and what's been on display between not only the ship that they have, but the other weapons and stuff that they're going to have, and also that particular thing, being that specific weapon. It was, I mean, it was just it was a really cool scene, and it was the execution of that within that world that made it so interesting. It's not
And
just
that
the
ninja.
thing. Yeah,
It's a
yeah, the ninja was
combination
cool.
of that and the ninja. Like, I never expected both to show up like that.
But that's what I'm saying.
Especially
It's
with,
the whole thing. It's not
yeah,
just that.
especially also if you play Death Stranding, you know that the world is almost apocalyptic,
Apocalyptic.
apocalyptic,
Yeah,
apocalyptic, and they don't rely on swords like that. No, no more.
exactly.
So to see an evolution where it's an actual guitar that fires energy, magnetic energy or whatsoever that does damage, like it showed you the technology that they were able to achieve, or the alternate timeline that they're doing. It's like that
It
brings more questions. It's not just cool. It's you're cool, but why
no, no,
you're
Well,
no,
cool?
no.
yeah.
Why
Omar,
you're here? Yeah.
it's an axe. It's actually an axe. So you don't have to question it. It's just cool.
Sorry, repeat that. What did you say?
It's an
I said
axe.
you don't. It's an axe. It's actually an axe. So don't question it. It's just cool.
It's just cool, yeah. Like, and I think that was the thing. He was just
No,
like
no. I
he wa-
question it
he
in
was
the
just
sense
so
of
hurt.
is there a story about it? Is
Yeah,
there a
yeah.
story behind it? In that sense, not in the sense that it doesn't make sense to be there.
Well, it's
I think
Kojima, so I'm sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's always.
but I think Omar doesn't know that an axe is also a different name for a guitar. But
Yeah,
No,
the
Yeah.
I
guitar.
didn't.
That was the
Yeah,
other thing. I
okay.
saw
guitar is
people
also
calling
yeah.
saw people calling it a sword, and I was like, wait, no, it's like no, it's an axe. I
Yeah,
was like,
I never
What's the
played a sword.
yeah, some people were calling the
Nah,
guitar a sword, and I was like, it's not a sword, it's an axe. I was
why
like,
is it an axe though?
You
because
didn't.
it's an axe.
That's what they call guitars.
Yeah.
But that was the
Okay.
funny
Yeah, an axe is
part.
another. Yeah, that's it was
Oh
rifting off of
yeah,
the other
and
name
I
of the guitar, an axe. Yeah.
Yeah,
oh
because
yeah, and I
then when
forgot another game.
the edge of it lights up,
Mm.
it
Mhm.
turns into an axe, like a literal axe. But yeah, I know you're seeing
Also,
Judas on screen because I did that on
yeah.
purpose.
Yep. Yep. You're
Uh,
forgetting. I want to
Damn.
mention it. Yeah, but yeah.
I forgot to enjoy this as well. But the thing is, with Death Stranding too, and I'm gonna give it close to other people. Look, so many things that was shown that I'm like, What's up with that? The hand that lights up your cigarette like, excuse you,
Hmm.
give it to me. That's cool.
Well, that's why I said
Um,
I don't think when people play these games, because I think this person was focused on the fact that he thought people were just like, riffing on the fact that the Kojima's such a genius, and it's like, no, dude, it's like this entire franchise is incredible, but the
yeah,
person didn't get it because guess what? They haven't played it. So I'm
they
like, of
haven't
course you don't
played
But
it.
understand.
Oh yeah,
please tell
they
me it's
call
not
it
the person that I think you're talking about.
FedEx
Probably
Please
not.
put in your
Simulator. Eh?
comments for a minute.
No, not
So
that person. Thank God.
Okay.
what I have seen is Kojima is not proud only, but confident in the training too. To
Absolutely.
the point of where he is actually showing off gameplay now.
Yeah.
And he showed us so many gameplay that it makes me question what is there isn't. Because we already know we gotta play as a different person. It's not gonna only be Sam now.
It
Other
sounds
than
like
I
we're
don't know.
playing it. Yeah, I don't know about that, but it sounds like we're gonna
no,
be in Mexico.
in the first date in the first trailer we saw him playing as the woman. Uh, what's her name?
Did
Um,
we?
I didn't.
yeah, we
I
did.
don't remember
He
Was
was
that
that.
not a
he
cutscene?
was riding that bike, that mini bike,
Was that? I thought that was a
and that was
cutscene.
That
gameplay.
looked like a cutscene.
Wait,
Yeah.
was it cutscene?
That was a
Yeah.
cutscene. That wasn't from a
I
gameplay
need to go back
perspective.
Yeah, that
and
was a
watch,
cutscene.
cause it was strictly on her. Okay, I'll need to go back and watch. With this game, I'm super excited, dude. As someone that played Death Stranding day one, that never cared for Kojima, I'm just stoked and excited for what Kojima was able to build. And with that being said, Kojima also announced a partnership with PlayStation to the point of a new IP in the stealth and espionage genre. Metal Gear. That's
No,
not Metal Gear.
that's not true because apparently he's not working with PlayStation after Death Stranding. That's what I was told. He's
So
no longer buddy buddy with PlayStation because
I
Yeah.
Xbox has him now.
I think if Kojima wanted to be bought, PlayStation would have bought him.
Absolutely.
I thought it's so funny the reactions to the announcement, like the way people have been calling, oh man, Kojima a whore, like because he just keeps
Like
taking money from both
he's a
sides
developer. He's gonna
and
develop
making
whatever.
games. I was laughing. I was like, I mean, yeah, but he doing what he gotta do to get that bag, and he loves making
The
games,
issue
so,
is
so let him.
we don't know a lot of developers like that work on both platforms. Like we seen now information on both ends where, like for example, there was a conversation that Supermassive Game, the studio behind Until Dawn, there was supposed to be an Until Dawn 2 for PlayStation, but PlayStation and the studio went their separate ways because Until Dawn Studio wanted to go multi-plat. And then you have the Ori developer that wanted to go multi-plat and Microsoft didn't. So it's very difficult to find a publisher or rather a developer that is able to work both companies and still, do well
Yeah, they
with
like I said,
Kojima.
they can
I
keep
mean, Kojima
whatever
Because
has
he
his
games.
is
rep,
Kojima.
so
Yeah, he's Kojima. So
yeah,
with that
Pe-
being said,
Yo,
yeah,
Nelson,
people chase
Gaz's post
him.
was
They
funny
don't.
as
He
shit
don't chase
though.
people.
one sec, one person at a time.
Did
Oh
you
yeah,
hear what Gaz said
Judas
though?
was shown. Judas was shown, and I'm excited for it. That's gonna be my first Bioshock game that I will play. Non-Bioshock game, Bioshock game. Nelson, what's your thoughts on what we saying? Cause you weren't part of the reaction group.
No, I was at work. I had to watch it like 12 hours afterwards, but I was gonna go
Were
on
you
that
spoiled?
Kojima topic. Huh? I was listening to what happened anyways, but I mean, I kind of knew most of what was gonna be there. So, like, I wasn't gonna like just turn my phone off, and you know what I mean. I was gonna find out about it, so I was listening to a lot of stuff live and whatever. I just didn't get to come home, sit down, and watch it until 12
Till
hours
later.
later. So yeah. So, but it was all it was cool because I got to sit down and watch it in 4K, and they had it condensed for me, so I didn't have to wait for the pre-show or boom, boom, watch that, went to sleep. But and it was awesome too. I was like, man, I just spent a bunch of money, and a lot of those games is like, man, I can't buy them right now because of my situation this weekend. Like, god damn, it's gonna be a rough year. Can't work no
Yeah.
overtime either.
Yeah, I
Shit.
mean, like I said, it was the, I mean, whether people, I thought, because people have obviously been trying to pit them against each other, um, the direct versus the state of play, and I'm like, the only thing I'll tell people is, to someone that was completely on the outside of both, not me, but Priscilla, she doesn't really care either way for either one, but she walked away from the state of play wanting to purchase a game that she didn't actually give a shit about before. So to me, that tells me it did its job. That's the point of these things, is to generate buzz, excitement, and people to want to purchase them. And now it did the
Which
same
game?
for me, which was Stellar Blade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like I told you before, I wasn't planning on getting it at all. Like, because I thought it was just like a basic hack and slash, and that was it, and there was nothing else to it, and it looked pretty, but I was like, that's not enough for me. And after seeing the actual show and them, giving us an in-depth look, it changed my mind. So, yeah. Hey, Omar.
I thought Gaz's what he said about the after the show though, he goes, "Oh
I
shit,
thought Nelson was.
PlayStation getting another
I thought
Kojima game."
I was waiting on Nelson
Hmm?
because you guys almost not cut him off, but like were adding information. I was serious. I thought Nelson had something else to say.
You're good. Just go ahead.
Oh
You're
yeah,
done?
I was just saying. Uh, no, I was just saying. I agreed because I thought the same thing that. Yeah, Gaz, he's an Xbox guy. He goes, "Oh shit, PlayStation gets another Kojima games. Sounds like a Metal Gear type. Xbox will probably get a Flash game with Chat GPT integration."
Yeah. Real talk. Real talk. Not gonna
Wouldn't be
front.
surprised.
I believe the games that Xbox is getting is gonna be impressive. Otherwise, Kojima is not gonna do it.
I don't think
I,
so.
I do
I think
think
it'll be an
so
interesting
because he's
experience.
not gonna. I don't think so. He's thing from what I have heard of Kojima, he is a very per- perfection type of person. So not gonna. He is not gonna invest in something if he is not confident in it.
Well,
I
he ain't
don't
putting a whole lot
think.
of resources into it. It sounds like
Yeah,
either.
but
So
I don't think Kojima is gonna. First of all, I think Microsoft is gonna give him a blank check to the point where he's gonna do whatever he wants to do. Otherwise, I don't think they would work with someone like Kojima. That's number one. Number two, especially with the amount of cast members he is hiring, and number two is Kojima is the perfectionist, and he is gonna want his game to be perfect before it's released.
I
And
mean,
same with
I don't
I
disagree.
mean,
I just think it's just not going to be what you think it's going to be.
yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
was
not
like,
gonna be anything
think
like
it's
you
listen,
think
gonna
it's
be.
gonna
listen.
be.
I
Let me
don't
say
know what
this.
it's gonna be.
Kojima
Real
is a
talk.
perfectionist, but you have to remember, like, Death Stranding didn't hit with a lot of
He,
people, right? And just
But
because
it
he's a
still
perfectionist
sold
and he's
well
good with
though.
what he does, doesn't
But,
mean that this next game is going to connect with a lot of people either.
Exactly.
Um,
but doesn't need
so
to be. I mean, Death Stranding didn't hit with a lot of people, and it still sold well.
I
but
think you underestimate how well Death Stranding did because of the naysayers who didn't play it. That like Death Stranding still sold plenty well. A lot of people
Do
who
we know
said
what
it
the
didn't
actual
think.
sales for Death Stranding is on PlayStation and then PC?
We know Death Stranding 2 is coming.
We know. Yeah. So,
yeah, but
uh,
the reason Xbox secure, listen, they wouldn't care if it was just like a flip book from this man. They just wanted him just
yeah,
because of his
exactly. That's
name.
the point I'm getting at.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's what
getting
Exactly.
Nelson's
at.
trying to say. They
It could
wanted
be a
him. They
flip
wanted
flip book.
Kojima because of his name. I'm pretty sure they probably weren't
okay.
even listening to what the hell he pitched. They were just like, "Oh, you want to do the game for us? Okay, cool, do it,
No,
please.
they're like, sure, whatever you want.
Here's a
And
check.
he was like,
Do
cool,
it,
I can make this with 10
please."
people. You know what I mean? For
Hmm.
100 million.
Yeah, like
That's what I'm saying.
he, because Kojima don't even like to tell people directly what he's making anyway. So he probably just went in
Yeah.
there with a whole whimsical idea and they probably didn't know what the fuck he said and was like, what the hell are you
Yeah,
talking about? I don't know.
exactly.
It's
They're like,
Kojima.
here's a
Just
check.
give him a fucking check. Okay. And that's what they
Okay.
did.
So then let me ask you this, Morgan. What's your thoughts on the show? And
Um,
what do you think Kojima, if Kojima game on PlayStation what's gonna be, and on Xbox is gonna be?
sir, I need you to get closer to the mic. I can tell you're
Yeah,
far away.
you sound like
Oh,
you
And you
sorry.
are
walking
echoing like
away
a
or something.
motherfucker.
I'm now close
Jesus.
to the mic. What's your thoughts on the show, state of play, and what do you think Kojima next game gonna be on Xbox and PlayStation? Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I thought the show was great. I gave it an 8. I think, it did what it needed to do for a state of play, even though it wasn't anything necessarily new that we saw. I thought we got a nice look at some, the in depth of the games that, we knew were coming, right? Because honestly, the really only game I really wanted to see, I was hoping to see, was Death Stranding 2, and we got that really. Well, I can't say that. I wanted to see Little Devil Inside, but God knows that game's probably canceled at this fucking point. But
So sad.
yeah, it is sad. But yeah, Death Stranding, the whole show, we got our date for Celeblade. Oh, you did you talk about Rise of the Ronin? I don't think you did.
Nope, didn't.
Omar.
Which one?
Rise of the Ronin. I think you forgot about that game.
Oh shit.
Yeah, oh shit.
Yeah, because that's how
Yeah, we
much
got
they
to
played.
I
see.
was so obsessed with Dragon Dogma
Oh, I
that
know.
forgot
I know. I know. Mhm.
Rise of the
You've been
Ronin. So
talking
go
talking
ahead.
shit about
You
Rise of the
talk.
Ronin. I
No,
get
no,
it.
no, no. The only shit I talk is that it looks terrible, but that's about
Oh
it.
God.
They're gonna prioritize gameplay over
Listen.
visuals. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm not too upset about the visuals because it's Team Ninja, and that's, yeah, like you said, they usually focus
There's
more on the
just three
gameplay.
visuals. Talk
Oh
it.
God.
Talk to him. Talk to
Oh,
them.
oh God. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's surfaceable. Like, at least, I mean, we could have a situation where the game is ugly and the gameplay looks boring. I mean, I'm not going to shout out certain games that I've seen recently that look that way, but I'm excited. But I mean, I could be biased because I'm a
Hellblade?
samurai. No.
Oh.
I said that are both ugly. They're like that the gameplay is ugly and the game's the gameplay is bad and the game is ugly.
Okay.
But I was like, I could be biased because I do prefer, or not prefer, but I do like samurai games. So anytime somebody releases any kind of samurai game, I'm all for it. But I'm excited for it. That's gonna be the game.
Play Neo, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm excited to try it out. It seems like a more grounded experience than Neo had, like the more the mystical stuff going on. But it looks good to me. I can't wait. That's the game I'm gonna be prioritizing over Dragon Dogmas 2 that releases the same day. Why PlayStation is deciding to release it, especially when they're marketing both of these games. It's so funny that they're releasing them both. Well, not they're releasing Dragon Dogmas 2,
Princess
but
Peach comes out that day too.
yeah, but the fact that it's like you're marketing both of these games and
They're
you were gonna
brain dead.
let
And
Rise
also-
of the Ronin come out the same day. That's interesting.
And also Horizon Forbidden West PC comes out the same day.
I mean, who gives a shit about that? But I mean, like, yeah, it's interesting tactic that PlayStation's doing right now. But yeah, but okay. So Rise of the Ronin looked good to me, and then we had Stellar Blade, of course, got a more in-depth look at that and kind of a background of actually what we're going to be doing and who our character is and their place in this particular game world, which sounds good to me. As like it sounded kind of like I don't know if you guys ever seen the show The 100. Sounded kind of sounds like a little bit of that, like
My brother love it.
we're coming back to Earth and to fight, the to see if it's inhabitable and fight the enemy, and the people that are still on Earth that never left are kind of like a little wary of us, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. But yeah, premise sounds cool to me. The gameplay looks good. The game looks great. Yams look fantastic as always. I like the different outfits we got. Like they very risque. But at the end of the day, we got to see how the story itself is going to play out, and hopefully the gameplay loop doesn't get boring. I'm a little wary because of the voice acting's kind of off a little bit. But that might just be because it's the English. Maybe the Korean or whatever voiceover is a lot better. But like the English is kind of off-putting a little bit. It doesn't look like it's best, but yeah,
Of
we'll see
what?
on that.
Stellar Blade?
Yeah, Stella Blade, like the English voice acting seems a
Oh,
little off.
it wasn't actually bad though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't like I could just tell like it was a little off, but it wasn't like horrible to the point where I'm like,
Ah.
ew. Um,
Maybe an early build?
you said what?
No, it's a
Maybe
voice
that's an
acting.
early build.
Omar,
Yeah, I mean, it could
voice
be.
acting doesn't do early builds.
Like, I mean, it is what it is. If at the end of the day, I'll have choices anyway, regardless of like, the voiceover. So it's all right. And then we had Judas. That looks good. I haven't played the BioShock series, but Judas looked really good to me. So I think I'm gonna get that. I should probably play it because I own it, but the BioShock series. But hopefully, if I have time before Judas comes out, because they haven't given a release date, it's just wish listed. So I still have time. But that looked good. And of course I'm getting Helldivers Day One. That was like the first thing that they showed. I can't wait. All the updates that we've gotten from Helldiver sound great to me, and that they've done gameplay previews, and IGN I guess reviewed it already or gave a semi review, and they said it was fantastic. They had a great time with it. It was fun. All the gameplay previews I've seen from people who played it said they have a good time. The PlayStation Access people who got to play like 4 or 5 hours of the game, said it was so enjoyable. Like they had fun, accidentally killing their friends, like because you can't turn friendly fire off in the game. So you kind of got to adapt to trying not to shoot your friends while you're shooting at the alien enemies, and the intricate and funny ways that you can kill enemies and accidentally kill your friends. They said it had them laughing the entire time they were playing. And
You have commented now twice or maybe even 3 times about killing your friends. This
oh yeah,
lady,
because I'm going
she
to.
she is
I plan
planning
on it. I plan on popping a
something.
cap, quote unquote, accidentally in a couple friends'
There
heads.
you
So
have it.
like, oh
There you
damn,
have it.
oh man, you was in the way. Like I couldn't help it. Like the alien was coming. I had to. It was you or me. But
I couldn't help it. Yeah.
like you can have like if you call for some equipment or like a ammo or a grenade launcher, you can call it down. You can have it aim at certain people or enemies. Like so when it falls, it kills them. Like
I'm gonna ask
it's
you,
funny.
what's your thought on what apparently the developers is gonna do is actually monitoring
Yeah.
the gameplay, and depending on what's happening, they
I
can
was
either
like,
throw in debuff or buff you.
yeah, I was like, the devs are trying to be the ops. Like they watching like, oh, they're doing too good. Let's go ahead and debuff their weapons, or let's buff their, or they need some help. I'm all good for that, because that just means the developers are paying attention and they're paying attention to the feedback, and we can get any type of improvements or make the game more interesting because they're watching. And I hope they keep it up, and I hope it works well and they implement it well and it makes it interesting. Because from what everybody's saying, when I was watching PlayStation Access, they were like, the game got interesting because it changed from how, when based on the way you were playing, it switched it up, and I was like, okay, that sounds really good to me.
Can you give an example? What do you mean by that?
No, I can't, because they didn't really elaborate. They were just like, if I went in guns blazing, sometimes they would like, they said and the level was just a little too easy and I was able to breeze through it. They would take ammo away from the next session, so that I would have to think more strategically about how to win against the aliens. Like you could tell it was being interactive, and it was
Interesting.
playing on based on how they were playing. But
Interesting. That's gonna be very interesting to see then. And
yeah,
also, I'm curious if they are gonna be able to keep that or drop it very quick. Cause
yeah, it
so many
depends.
people, how you gonna able to cover all of them and do your work at the same time?
Yeah, it all really depends on how, I guess, well it's received. But yeah, so that Helldivers is day one for me. And then of course we got Death Stranding 2, looking fucking immaculate as always. They made sure to put that, powered by Decima engine, which I love to see. I was like, yes, because yeah, that Decima engine is fucking. I don't know what the hell, what kind of crack is in that engine, but it's fan fucking tastic. They keep uh it keeps getting better every time I see somebody implement it. And Kojima knows that damn engine like the back of his hand, so he pushes the shit out of it. And the set pieces that we got to see for Death Stranding 2 look freaking amazing. I mean, that one where he was like walking and you see the huge moon in the backdrop, I was just like, oh my god. And then him walking on like the dune, the dunes of the desert. I was just like, like Kojima just keeps pushing it. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna get even more intricate biomes this time around, and I can't wait to see where the story takes us. That's a day one. The only thing I'm upset about is it's 2025, so I have to wait. But 2025 sounds like it's about to be a good year with Death Stranding 2 and GTA 6 if they hit the mark with those dates. But yeah, that's a day one. And I'm very excited about the new IP that we're gonna get for what I
Metal
assume will,
Gear.
yeah, or a something of the like. Yeah, whenever we get it, probably PS fucking 6. You
Oh yeah,
know,
this is absolutely a PlayStation 6 game.
yeah,
If not 7.
yeah.
Because with
He's
them
working
being a
on it.
perfectionist, we gonna see.
Yeah, he's working on it after Death Stranding 2 finishes
Mm.
it. So I guess after 2025 and on. So yeah, it's definitely a next console or at the very earliest, the very end of PS5. But I'm excited to see it because I'm glad, and I'm glad Herman was like, yeah, I've been pushing him to do this for a while to get back into the action espionage genre, and I'm like, good, that's what you should be. Tell him to get his ass back into
Mm.
that for what we fell in love with him
Oh
with
yeah.
Metal Gear. And I can't wait to see what he implements from everything that he's learned from doing Death Stranding and stuff, and implementing those mechanics and techniques into a new action espionage game. And I can't, and I'm glad it was PlayStation that was able to secure that, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
that's where I want to fucking play it. Like the home of Metal Gear needs to get that shit. So
I
absolutely.
You
see.
tell him. You
So
tell him.
We,
exactly. So yeah.
we, my man, Mr. Infinite, what's your thoughts on the situation with State of Play? Also, Kojima, back at PlayStation, baby!
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you just call him Mr. Infamous?
Infinite! You're
Mr.
playing
Infinite.
Oh,
Yakuza
Infinite.
Infinite, that's
Oh,
why.
okay, okay. I mean, not the biggest Infamous fan, so. But yeah, uh, yeah, it was a great showcase. I would also give it like an 8, 8.5. Death Stranding 2, definitely the highlight. I mean, I get you, Omar. You have no idea what's going on with the trailer, but that's kind of the point. So, in that sense, it
Oh yeah, no,
succeeded, and
I'm not complaining,
uh,
I'm excited.
it looks amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
like Morgan said, new biomes look definitely impressive, especially the desert setting. And I'm really excited to see what it's going to do because it kind of felt like the first game sort of had an ending, right? So you kind of curious. It was sort of like high concept, so like high concept sci-fi. So certainly they can go places with that, but like I'm really curious what you know what direction he's going, and it kind of feels like this is sort of like uh, Kojima Unleashed, right? That he can just he's done the first game and was successful in what it wanted to do, and now he can sort of do whatever the fuck he wants, basically. So
Yeah.
it kind of feels like that's going to be this game, and I'm all for it, right? I mean, I'm going to be there day one. And look, yeah, it's have to wait until next year, but like let's face it, we're not really starving from games. So I'm
You're right.
absolutely I'm absolutely fine that I like that I have to wait for this because there's so much to play. So many great games, right? It's not just I have a few games in my backlog, and I could play them if I don't have anything else to do. But I mean, there's so much stuff coming out, so much stuff that has come out, so much stuff that I have to still get to from a backlog. So I'm I'm cool that they're taking their time with that. But so if that's with that and Wolverine dropping next year, like next year is going to be
Oh
crazy.
shit! I
So
forgot about Wolverine
Wolverine,
too.
Wolverine
Yo,
is 2000, 2008, 2009 game.
bro, shut
Don't
up.
worry about that one.
Shut
Wolverine,
up.
by the time Wolverine come out, Xbox might be out of the industry.
Oh my god.
so
Oh wait.
so within a year. Okay, okay, that's
2027, eh?
Oh man.
yeah, Omar. Sure. Judas also looks really good. I mean, I actually have played the Bioshock game, so I know what I can expect. It definitely has that Bioshock feel to it. And yeah, I mean, I love those games, so I'm definitely on board with Judas. Um, I'm not sure for Rise of the Ronin because I was still kind of sort of trying to see what kind of game it is. Like it has sort of this mix between Assassin's Creed, I guess, and yeah, when it turns out to be Neo. Because when it's like when you're you know moving in town and using that glider, it kind of feels like oh yeah, it's kind of sort of like an Assassin's Creed type game. But when you see the combat, it's clearly inspired by Neo. So I might wait for this game because yeah, I mean, I didn't like Neo that much, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna enjoy this type of game. And Dragon's Dogma 2, it's also not on my priority list. Like I played the first game but never finished it. So I kind of have to wait and see, how they improve this upon the first game, or if it's just, basically Dragon's Dogma, but with better graphics. So
Did you hear what I said about the improvement? Because that was
y-
actually visible.
yeah, you said so, but the question is, is it enough,
I
to
mean, that's for you to decide. Also, there's a new class.
well,
You seen it?
It
yeah,
don't take
but
much for
that's what
Omar.
yeah, I know, Omar loves the game, but
No, no,
that's
no.
kind of thing,
I'm
Omar.
trying. I'm trying to hype him up for it. Cause that shit. Cause a new Dragon Dogma, dude.
Yeah, but I have enough to play, Omar. So
Yeah, I
that's
feel. I feel. This is why Dragon Dogma 2 and Rise of the Ronin coming out same day is atrocious for PlayStation. No matter how you slice it and dice it.
I mean it's atrocious for those games anyway because there's still so much to play. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean yeah, like we're gonna get Final Fantasy Rebirth, right? So
Yes,
I'm
Well,
sir.
speaking about that, we're getting a preview next week, and we might be getting a demo. We're getting 20 minutes of gameplay.
I mean so you're kind of question like if you're not hopping on to either Like a Dragon or Grand Blue, and then you're gonna have to hop onto Final Fantasy end of February. Like, what time do you have to play any of those games?
It's so ridiculous. Oh god, so many damn
Yeah.
games.
We find a way to clone ourselves, and it is the one that's gonna think about it. And Nate, you
But
Oh,
have
is
one
he?
job.
Okay.
And Nate,
hmm
He has one
I'll
job.
see what I can
we're
do.
gonna go to you. What's your thoughts
Hey,
on
hey,
State of...
it,
Yeah?
it didn't even ask me if it was finished, but okay,
I
cool,
thought you
whatever.
were done, but go ahead, continue.
Well, well, normally you would ask people if they were
I apologize.
Yeah, no, I
get on
don't
them, get
accept
on
an
them, weeb.
apology.
I
Uh,
got I
y-
got bored with you. I wanted you out of the game to
yeah,
Oh
continue.
damn.
Go fuck yourself too. I didn't even hear you. I didn't even hear
Continue.
you about the best your personal favorite game of the entire show, Sonic
Oh,
X
that
Shadow
was Death
Generation.
Stranding. That was
Yeah.
Death Stranding.
No, that was Sonic. Sonic. You were
Yeah, it was
most hyped
Sonic.
about Sonic.
hmm
That was
Oh,
definitely
Sonic.
that.
Sonic was interesting. I forgot about
No,
Sonic.
you were absolutely gushing over it. Come on
I was
now.
gushing about the gameplay because I wasn't expecting Shadow. I was
Yeah,
expecting Sonic, and then it
yeah.
That's
became
his game of the
Shadow.
year right there. Game of the year for
Yep,
Omar.
yep,
Hey,
Oh, wait, no,
definitely.
no, no.
hey.
His favorite game was Foam Stars that he saw. That was his.
The
Oh yeah,
foam
Oh,
yeah.
stars.
damn.
Yeah. Can't
Not
wait, y'all.
even
Just so y'all know,
fucking me.
Omar's been telling me like for like 2 months that he's downloading that shit day one off of PS Plus when
No,
that drops. That's what he told me.
Damn, that hurt, you know, that really hurt.
What? I got
I
your
mean,
word.
you're
I
Now
gonna
got
I
the word
feel
play
out.
it all
insulted and
year.
hurt. Go ahead,
No, but
continue,
yeah,
Weeb.
yeah, but because of course Stellar Blade is the other
Eh,
game that yeah, I mean I was already on board with it, but now from seeing it, it has a lot more depth to it than I initially expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean it's shaping up to be pretty much a very highly anticipated experience, and is already dropping in April. So it's making the schedule even more tense for the first half of this year. Like it's fucking insane. I mean, I literally now have to make a schedule for which games I want to play because there's no way in hell I can play everything that's coming out that I want to play. So yeah, man, first world problems.
Absolutely.
you know
Yeah.
what after April is coming out that's important for us to play? Or that's when the slowdown happens?
Aiden Chronicles and
Or
the 100 Heroes.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
And March,
2024.
Unicorn Overlord. Omar, you're gonna play Unicorn Overlord.
Oh, damn. Damn.
Yeah,
Too
Omar.
many
yeah, yeah,
games.
yeah. And we don't even know, right? Because there's plenty of games that were supposed to come out this year. We
Yeah.
have no release date yet,
Yep.
Yeah. Because
and
Star
probably
Wars
some
is
shit that
supposedly
they haven't
coming.
announced.
The
Yeah,
Star Wars Outlaws is supposed to coming out early
Yep.
this
It's
year.
supposed to be
yeah.
coming out in summer or something like that. And
Yeah.
then, of
Mhm.
course,
He
in
said Red was gonna
fall.
make it at the end of the year. I was surprised about that. I thought that was
Yeah,
gonna be like
that
a
would be
2025 game.
crazy if that made it this year.
According to like the Ubisoft financials or something, that's supposed to come out at the end of the year. I was like, oh, I
I
thought
would be
I picked that as a
extremely
2025
surprised.
game.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Banisher is also coming out,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah, I forgot about Banishers. That
yeah,
looks good too.
yeah, that
Damn.
game is gonna be murdered.
Yeah.
Lord,
Yes, I'm excited about, but
I
I
need to get
hope
me a
they put
sponsor.
out a demo because I haven't seen a single bug for it. I'm not gonna lie. Other than me being excited about it, nobody have mentioned it. Maybe in it here and there, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, and their that new mana the
Oh
new
yeah,
mana
the
game
new
is gonna
mana.
come.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
and also that Akira Toriyama game, like, and also Metaphor. Help,
I need
Oh
y'all to shut
yeah,
up because I keep forgetting about
Shadlands.
all these
Yeah,
damn games I gotta pay
yeah,
for. Relax.
yeah.
help.
Oh god, because I gotta get
Lost Soul
Metaphor day
Aside is
one.
supposed to come out.
Oh
Metal
my
Gear
god.
Solid Delta.
Oh Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
probably Venom game, right?
Why?
So
I yo, what is game of the year going to be this year? Too many games.
no, that's already known. It's like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
No, that's gonna be Final
honestly,
Fantasy
honestly,
Rebirth.
that I need that to be up there for the game of the year nominations because
Rebirth. It's
there's
gonna be Rebirth.
It's gonna be up there with the way that it has been reviewed. It's gonna be up
Priscilla.
there.
Okay.
And I'm sorry to say this, Omar, but I think Rebirth has no chance in hell of beating out Infinite Wealth.
Ooh, are we gonna
I
see?
mean, it's got a it's
We gonna see.
oh, I'm feeling some type of way
We
about that.
gonna see.
Listen,
We
look,
gonna
Final
see.
Fantasy got listen. It's gonna have a tough battle because look, the way
Yeah.
Infinite is getting the reception, it's gonna have a tough hill to climb. So,
Lady,
oh, not
wait,
lady. Oh
wait,
man.
wait until the state of play, okay?
Oh damn.
Let's see how you see after that when they
Look,
drop
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa, whoa,
demo.
whoa, whoa, whoa! I didn't say the game wasn't gonna be good. You acting like I'm saying the game is gonna be trash.
She said
I'm
game of the
saying that,
year
and I
competition.
said, I think it's gonna be. I definitely think it's gonna be a
Rebirth,
nominee.
Rebirth
I
is gonna
know
dog walk
Rebirth.
Infinite.
Listen, I know
Whoa.
Rebirth is gonna be
Whoa.
a game of the year nominee. Like that's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying in order to be Infinite out, it's gonna have to be phenomenal fucking null. Like it's got an uphill battle to climb when beating Infinite is what I'm saying. I still think it's gonna be great. I'm just saying in order to beat what Infinite did, it's gonna need to be even better.
I told you, Rebirth is gonna dog walk Infinite. Mark my
Oh
words.
God. Oh man. Oh man.
This
Mark my
man's
Oh
words.
man.
this man said
What's
dog walk.
the meta for Infinite right now? Is it like 90,
I think it's 90.
91?
That's what I see.
Mm,
Rebus is gonna hit over 90. Mark my way.
Oh
mm,
man,
Um,
mm-hmm.
are
talk
It's
a
you
lot of
done,
shit right
true,
now.
Weeb?
Dan.
Talk a lot of shit right now,
True,
Omar.
Dan.
It's a
Do
90
you
on
have
Open
anything else to
Critic.
say, Weeb?
Okay.
I'm go- I'm
Okay.
gonna lick those salty tears of you, Omar.
Okay, we see, we will see. We will see. Innate, what's your thoughts on
Yo,
Close It
that's
Out?
another soundbite I need of Cartman being like, "Oh, his tears are delicious." I need that,
Oh man.
yo. Yo, Weave said, I'm a lick your salty tears.
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
love it. Yeah. Oh, it's a rip off of what Weeb said. This doesn't even have anything to do with Final Fantasy or Infinite, but I'm just thinking about it. Got me thinking about what he said about Kojima now not being under Konami. Like the fact that he's no longer having to be under the tightened grip of Konami, and the thought that he's gonna actually get to make probably the action espionage game that he actually wanted this time, because the controversy that happened around Metal Gear Solid 5 and that whole deal and debacle and his split, and this just the
Mhm.
whole horrible thing that happened over there.
Yeah.
He's finally gonna get to make the one he wants with no pressure, probably
Yeah.
like an infinite check, and it's gonna
Mhm.
be fucking fun. I'm just excited. I'm sorry, it's gonna be fucking phenomenal now because
Yeah.
Konami's not there to hinder his creativity anymore. So
Facts.
It,
I can't wait.
it,
It's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
great.
yeah. It's good. I almost forgot about that one. Yeah, because that was huge when he announced like that was my thought exactly. Like this is
Yep,
going to be the Metal Gear they wasn't allowed to make. Like it,
exactly. Oh,
It it
yay!
make you question, was this deal made done after Microsoft did their deal with them and my PlayStation is like, now we're gonna be super petty about it?
I don't
I don't
know,
know.
and I don't care because it's
Probably.
here. It's coming, and I'm happy. I'm so happy. Like,
Okay.
But
yay!
it definitely feels like what he's making from Microsoft is like that
Little side
um
project.
yeah, like what Ninja Theory did like with the Mara game, and don't know if they
Yeah.
ever uh released that, but sort of like the almost movie like experience, like literally like a
Mm-hmm.
movie, right? And
Yeah.
that sort of feels like that sort of small title, and basically for PlayStation making Hellblade 2, right? So the equivalent of that.
I
So
love it.
that yeah, I love it too. I mean, obviously, with the support of PlayStation, that game is going to be absolutely a success, right?
Mm-hmm. It's
So
fantastic. Shout out to PlayStation though, because like, listen, I know we're lacking on the first party side, but at
we
least
are,
when we are, they make sure to secure some second and third party titles for us, and they're making sure
but
we're gonna have something to fucking play.
Oh yeah, you can't
Like,
you
would you
can't breathe
want
right now.
would you
that's
want
what I'm
third
saying.
party right? Wait a
Yep.
second. Would
Right
you
now,
want
hell
third
no.
party
Right
with
now,
what we're
no,
getting right now? Do you
no.
have time for third party?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
That's
no.
the difference. No, I
Oh,
don't. I
oh,
don't. I
Omar,
don't.
Omar, did you really just say that? Because you have been complaining for the longest.
What?
He said, "Did you just say that because you've been complaining about it for the longest, the lack of
No,
first
no, no, no,
party?"
no. I complain about the roadmap. I didn't say release anything. Just show me what you're working on. That's
Listen,
different.
listen. As far as like that's what I'm saying. That's why I hold Xbox and PlayStation in two different entities, or just on two different levels in my mind, because you remember 2022 when Xbox was in their lull and they didn't have anything. Like they didn't even bother
They
to
didn't have
really
no second
secure
party, third party
any
indies. They didn't
second.
have a guy.
Exactly. And you have Game Pass. So, you would think, you know, as when the lulls happen, let's secure something that can be on Game Pass so they don't have to pay any extra. It's just already in their subscription. They didn't even do that. So it's just like, at least when PlayStation knows, okay, like, first party, they're still cooking right now. They still don't have anything, ready to give to the people yet. But we're gonna make sure that you have some games to play. So much so that you're gonna probably be mad because we probably giving you too many games, and now your schedule is crazy and packed. So shout out to PlayStation, because they that's how you do it when you have a lull, because everybody has a lull. But you make sure that the people that are supporting your platform have games to play as
Yeah,
they should.
mind you, we haven't spoken about the Japanese games that are gonna be dropping as well. That's on
Wait,
PlayStation only. The East, for example. East is dropping. There's another East is dropping. There's Trails dropping. Like, too many games.
yep.
And with that being said, Innate, what's your thoughts on the show? And is Xbox dog shit or not? And also, is Kojima a whore for working with Xbox?
These questions.
Hey,
Uh,
I gotta be entertaining.
no, I mean, Kojima can do what he want, man. That man keeps delivering me fire, and the fire is being delivered on PlayStation right where I want it, so I don't really care.
Ooh,
Uh,
as it should.
Absolutely. So he knows where to put his top priorities, and that's what matters, and that's cool because then he'll keep getting really awesome sneakers, and I'll be happy about it. So, um, yeah, the I don't know about Xbox being dog shit, but hey, look, I'll tell them like we tell them in spaces all the time. If you like it, I love it for you, but it ain't got nothing to do with me, and that's okay because I ain't got to play that shit. Um, and the PlayStation State of Play, like I said, was really great. Um, like I said, after going back and watching everything in 4K and really absorbing everything that was shown, um, I mean, it was great. It was an 8.5 for me. Like I said, I played all the Bioshocks, so Judas looks really great. I actually think that's one that Priscilla is really going to really like because of the kind of horror undertones that it has. The game is not horror. That's the thing with like Bioshock and stuff, but it is like super creepy and stuff, and it's first person, and obviously that's most likely going to support ultra wide. So I'm sure she'll have a ball with that on PC. So that's another one that, again, for someone who was looking for things to look forward to, um, I think that's another game she's going to enjoy. Obviously, Helldivers 2 was great. Seeing that, we're shortly going to all be jumping on that. Priscilla is going to get a copy on PC so she can play in all the ultra wide glory. Um, and then Dragon's Dogma again looked really good. That's another one where I'm kind of on a holding pattern though because I want to finish one before two. I don't really care that the story is kind of more of a backdrop for that game. I'm just like, if I can't finish one, then I don't really think I'm gonna enjoy two like that. It always looks really cool, and so did Dragon's Dogma 1, but I also haven't finished it. So um, that's something where I definitely want to finish that before I get into that. Um, Metro Awakening for the PlayStation VR 2 looks amazing, and it's probably one of the first PSVR 2 games I'm going to pick up this year, if not the first one. Uh, I think it's looking very much like their Half-Life 2 Alex 2 answer that I said they needed. They needed a really amazing looking game that really showcased what it was capable of, and it looks really great. Um, then you had, uh, like I said, Stella Blade did a phenomenal job. On top of that,
Did
convincing
that,
me to go day one.
did that tell you? Because I know you were not getting it, but after watching the gameplay, you're like, okay,
Yeah, I mean,
now
I
that
wasn't getting it at all. But that extensive gameplay showing me what the game actually had to offer, and that it's not just some basic hack and slash, uh, Devil May Cry with a female type vibe thing going, and it had way more to offer than that, and actually has a story and characters and a world that looks interesting. That sold me. So yeah, that's now from nothing to day one. On top of that,
damn. See,
so
Xbox, this is what a fucking showcase does to your game.
yeah, I mean, you gotta show me why, show me why I'm jumping in. Um, so yeah, they also I think they showed, well, at least PlayStation has it up here, but I don't know if they showed it during the event, but I guess that's coming soon. The Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons remake, which Priscilla will probably be interested in too
They
as well.
revealed that, but not
Hey, the
during
Xbox
that
show showed me
showcase.
something.
I don't know if they showed it on Xbox, but I am excited about it because I love one.
Yeah,
I played it. The remake. I'm excited for the remake.
what they show, Nelson?
It showed me that I really don't need to upgrade this year.
There you
My
go.
Xbox showed me something.
Yeah, but like I said,
So,
yeah, overall it was like an 8.5. Like I
No
said,
hurry.
they did it.
what
They
about
did a great
what
job.
about Death Stranding? And Kojima for working with Xbox.
Oh no, I said no. I said that earlier. He, I said no. He can do whatever he wants because he's delivering. His priority is clearly PlayStation, where he's delivering the best he has to offer. So I don't really care. But yeah, obviously Death Stranding 2 looks great. I mean, it's not till 2025, so I'm sure we'll see some more of it. And I'm obviously highly anticipating it. I'll probably go back and get the platinum before that, since I'm so close to it. But yeah, that's it.
What about what you call it? What did I want to say? I forgot. Damn it. Let's end it here. I genuinely wanted to say something, but I forgot. So let's end
Shout
it
out
here.
to Grand Blue Fantasy,
Oh,
getting them Steam, all time highs over there, like the Steam numbers,
okay.
like 100,000 concurrent players, which is
Nice.
the
Yeah,
highest for a Japanese
JRPG.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
Since
Japanese period.
I'm
Yeah.
a
since
I'm a
Monster Hunter.
need.
So
I am a need. I am a need. And normally I don't pocket watch, but I'm gonna pocket a game watch. I would say. I'm gonna need the people that are gonna complain too many games to play to stop playing all games and just the new only, or else you got zero legs to stand on. Talking about too many games to play and then playing all games. Nah, we're not doing that. Or else your gaming card will be revoked. I don't make the rules. I only enforce them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Morgan. Shout out to PC gamers, actually standing on business and not only
mm,
purchasing the
mm,
Japanese games that they wanted on their platform, but also
yeah,
playing them. So yeah, shout out to PC gamers. You know what I'm saying? They said, a lot of people say a lot of things about us. We don't purchase games, this and that, and they stood on business and they showed up. So that is why they'll
yeah.
continue to
Grand
get
Blue
supported.
Fantasy Relink
You
is that
genuinely
shit.
glanced over my rant, didn't you? Okay, I think
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
We
was.
always do. It's all good.
Okay, but yeah, great show. Anyone have anything else to say besides that Nate and Morgan need to play any games and all games?
Damn.
I'm joking, but nah, real talk
Damn.
though. Amazing showcase. Okay, 3 hours. I tried to do it under three, but too many topics to cover.
We'll see you
Um.
guys next week after that Final Fantasy State of Play.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
So
we're gonna see what your
Yeah,
reaction
they're like,
going
we
to
gotta
be.
extend.
what you over
Uh,
here swear like
with
I hate
that,
Final Fantasy or I think it's gonna be
no,
bad.
no, 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 no. There is a different ball game between the two, and you gotta
Oh
see.
my god.
I,
Okay.
I,
I
I, I
pointed
I
out
just
though.
think that you are severely, and I mean severely,
Mm,
underestimating infinite wealth in
mm.
comparison to what you are playing in the Yakuza series now. And the series has grown exponentially
I'm
and is in
aware
Mm.
of
an
that.
Uh,
entirely different
I
playing
am
field.
aware of
Are
that,
you? Are you?
but I don't see. So, for example, Yakuza 7 versus Final Fantasy 7 Remake, what would you give it to?
You don't even want to have that conversation because you know where I stand
Yeah,
on that.
because it's a turn-based
I
versus
mean,
action RPG.
to be fair though,
Yeah,
he
it's
finished Yakuza 7, but he didn't finish Final Fantasy 7 remake.
to
Precisely.
be fair though,
oh,
he is a
Precisely.
fan of action.
so
e-
I forgot that he doesn't.
Uh-huh.
He's not
Omar,
a fan of
Omar,
action.
even without my personal love for the Yakuza franchise, I can most definitely say that Yakuza Like a Dragon is better than a remake.
Okay,
mm.
I mean you're biased. It's difficult to have a
Oh
genuine conversation.
man.
No, 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 no. I want to have a genuine conversation, but
I need you to
one
hurry
is
up so you can play
biased
7.
towards one thing and the other is biased towards another thing. Like for example, it's gonna if I need a genuine conversation, it's gonna be J Body versus
Bro,
Weeb.
you already know Jay Barry
Jay
is
Barry
literally
has a
the
bias towards
most
Final
Exactly,
Fantasy.
but that's the
Well,
bro.
thing. That's the thing.
Yo.
I want one bias versus one
Yeah, but
bias.
he has an
That's bracket.
unhealthy bias towards Final Fantasy 7.
I don't know. I can't find a healthy bias though. But
Well,
yeah,
I have to find somebody that's played both. That because he hasn't even
yeah.
played both,
So
so yeah.
I haven't played both, so I can't comment on it. But if
I
seven
But
have
we've
played
had, but
remake,
both
we've has.
and comment on
we, but we, let's keep it real. We is a horror for Yakuza. He
Not a
admitted
whore.
it.
Oh. You say you be out in these
But
Are
streets.
you or are you not? I need an answer right now.
Oh man.
hmm?
He said, "Listen, I don't get paid for my love. All
He
right,
said he
yeah,
said he
listen."
said we busted open for Yakuza. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, the thing is, you don't even have to cap for Yakuza because it's just good.
Oh
Okay,
damn!
Oh,
this
Lunchroom,
dude.
lunchroom.
oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Fight.
Hey,
Shots fired.
you.
Mhm. Yo,
Mm-hmm.
why was I just about to hit that?
See,
I
when you
was
have
just
a
about to hit
soundbite,
this
but
soundbite.
yeah. So I gotta admit, because I want to keep this conversation going. What did you say, Weep? Because I couldn't hear you. I'm not joking.
I said you don't even have to cap for Yakuza because this franchise is that good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, which explains
Mm,
why
mm.
I'm not having that much fun with two right now. Hey,
Well, because you have a hate boner and because you're a
Oh
no,
Final
man,
Fantasy
oh
no,
fan,
no,
man,
right?
no,
oh man.
no. I'm
What
just
is two?
that
Two ain't got nothing to do
allergic.
with seven. Two ain't got nothing to do
I'm
with
just
seven, bro.
allergic to bad gameplay. That's it.
Yeah. So you're
Oh,
you're so
Deliberate
your your
gameplay.
thing was seven versus like a dragon. That's your
Oh,
thing.
then,
So
I
when
would
you get there,
absolutely,
then you can have that
yeah.
conversation.
So I have a
he gonna
question.
go. He gonna go in with that hate boner,
Does
waiting to
no,
hate.
does the seven does anything remotely close to what the remake did with hard mode, where there is
Do you
no
really? Do
item?
you
Wait a minute.
really?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Are you
Why do you always do that?
serious?
You always pick
No,
certain
I'm genuinely
certain
asking
aspects of a
if
game.
there is
If it, how does that
Uh,
comparison,
That
Omar?
doesn't
How is that a
my,
matter.
comparison? What does that got to
my,
do
because
my,
with it?
my man,
because
if
aside
you've
from
played
the
any of the previous Yakuza games and you go to seven, it's
mhm,
a world of difference. They
I know
completely
because
changed the
seven is
gameplay.
I remember playing seven demo, but I couldn't understand anything of it because it was in Japanese. That's why. But I remember playing it, and it was bad. Why was it bad? Cause no, let me explain. It was
No,
bad.
Omar, you
It
don't get this play because you're
bad.
talking dog shit.
Bad as in,
Bad experience for me because it was in Japanese. I couldn't understand what I'm doing.
you didn't
I'm
have the
not
So
subtitles?
judging the
why the
game.
fuck do you
I'm
play
not.
it in Japanese?
I'm not
No.
because the demo was only in Japanese.
Wait a minute, you didn't have subtitles?
But no, there wasn't. No, there
So
wasn't.
you
And I'm
went out of
talking.
your
I'm
way
talking.
to play
I'm
the demo on
talking
the
about.
Japanese store,
Let
and
me
then you're complaining
let
because
me
it's
explain.
in
Let me
Japanese. Okay.
explain. I'm
Oh
talking
man.
about.
Not to butt in, but I gotta get going because I can hear kids
Okay.
upstairs banging
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi,
forks on the
Go
table
Nelson.
ahead,
saying,
Nelson.
"We want food,
Nelson.
we want food." And I'm like,
Go
yeah, they
make your
probably
food.
You,
I'm
it's
sorry,
almost
Nelson.
bedtime.
Nelson, count your blessings because you don't have
Very
to
quick.
listen to this
Very quick.
Yakuza slander.
Very quick. No. Very
Bye,
quick.
Nelson.
Very quick
I gotta
explaining.
go.
Yeah, later, Nelson. Very quick explaining. Back when the game got released, the seven, they had a demo, but only for Japanese people only. And I have a Japanese PlayStation
Oh
account, so
my
I
Oh,
downloaded it.
okay.
god, bro.
So you went out your way to get a
What?
Japanese only demo, knowing you wouldn't be able to understand what the fuck was going on.
No, but I did say
Yeah.
that it was a demo, but
Oh,
you couldn't guys
but that's your fault. Why would you get the Japanese version of the demo?
because
I'm gonna tell you right now. Anything
You
you
there
set
is
played in
you
no
that
set
demo,
English
yourself up. You
version.
set yourself up for that L, Omar.
yeah,
That was
that
like
doesn't
that's like
Because
compete.
me
there is
having a
because
German account and getting the German game and
because
being
because that was the only option to
Bro,
get
Omar
to
in
play
these
the
freaking
demo.
demos, bro. Okay, so in the future,
this
you know
man.
to
He
never do
addicted
that
to
ever
damn
again.
demos.
Yeah, you know
I
to
did it
never do that
though.
again.
Let-
I did it. But
This man is
Omar,
addicted to demos.
let me ask you this. If Final Fantasy VII had a demo only available in Japanese and you played it and you couldn't understand anything, would you also have had a bad experience? I'm willing to bet yes.
but yes, but again, I never said seven is a
No, no,
bad
no, no,
game.
no. But you always say I never said it, but then you did say it.
I never said seven is a
No,
bad
because
game though.
you started off the conversation. You were like, "Well, I mean, I have played and it was bad, so
I okay, so
because
I
Yeah,
need
you
to
did.
explain myself because clearly there's a misunderstanding. One,
clearly."
do I think that seven is better than rebirth remake. No, I truly believe what I
But
experienced with
you
seven.
haven't played
You haven't
7, so
played
you
it,
No,
can
bro.
make
but
that
I'm
judgment.
gonna play it and I'm gonna get back to it.
Yeah, but you just
And
said, "Do I think?" It's like, no, you can't think right now
okay,
because
so I'm
that's
gonna wait.
that's making a
Okay, I'm
statement.
gonna wait. Okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until seven, Yakuza 7 give me the same emotional investment that I had with remake. And I'm not
It
talking. And I'm not.
it
No, 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 no.
fucking it
I need
fucking
to.
will.
I need to explain something. Final Fantasy 7 is not my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. That's 10. I would put 6 and maybe even 12 before 7. Like that's how much of a slander I have for 7.
Yeah,
So
but you still have a Final Fantasy bias. That's obvious.
no, I don't, because
Yes.
I call no, because I literally do shitted on 16 and 15. Like now we're not doing that. I have zero bias when it comes to Final Fantasy and Kingdom
No, no, no,
Hearts.
no,
That's
no,
a
Zero
no.
damn
bias.
lie.
That's
Omar,
a
Omar,
damn
I
that's a
have
lie.
fucking
zero
lie.
bias when it comes to
Hold
Final.
up.
Omar,
Oh,
stop.
if you want an objective person when it comes to Final Fantasy, come to me.
Omar, you literally
Omar, it's
just
not.
said Final Fantasy was better than 7. That's not an objective opinion.
No, I said my own experience. Okay,
Omar, you have a
okay.
bias, and that's not a
Oh,
bad thing because you love the franchise. But you
no.
definitely have a bias there.
Okay, let's wait. So you think when I play 7, Yakuza 7, I'm gonna go in thinking it's a bad game?
I mean,
No,
you're
but
going to
you
be
also
You
yeah.
already you
you
think
also
What?
went
that way.
into it thinking that like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is going to be the greatest game this year and it's going to beat out
No, I.
Infinite.
Be,
That's a
okay,
bias.
we see, we see. Okay, we will
Yeah, that
see.
is definitely a bias.
Okay, we will see. We will see.
No, no, no.
Um,
We won't see. You have a bias.
no, I am going to play. Here's what
There's
I'm
nothing
about to
who would
do.
have it a bias. It's
After no no
okay.
no no. After I
It's
finish
okay, Omar.
after
You
I
do you.
finish two, after I finish two, I'm gonna go straight to 7 and play it
Ooh.
and get the and
Ooh.
beat it, and we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Deal.
You about to eat crow. You about to come here like, guys, I want to
No,
apologize.
no,
I was not familiar with his game.
no, because I know its gameplay is turn based. That's all I know about it.
Hmm. I know, but I'm saying you're gonna apologize because you'll be like, you know what, 7 was fucking phenomenal, guys. You're right.
I
I was wrong. My
okay,
bad.
okay, we will see. With that being said, we went way over line. Well, I mean over
I
time.
love it. I love it. We
Let's
always
come to the outro. Morgan, you love it. What do you love? What do you love so
always
much about it?
we always have time, to stomp you out, Omar. That's part of the show.
Stomp me out. How is it stomp me out? Again, I play games. I actually beat hard mode. When I'm judging
Oh, he
7,
beat a
I'm
hard
judging.
mode, guys.
No, 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 no. I'm judging it on hard mode. What hard mode made me feel. That's what I'm
Oh my
talking about.
god.
Lord
Does
have
that
So
make
hard
you
mode
mercy.
gave
hard,
you
Omar?
a different feeling than normal mode. Like what are you trying to
Yeah,
say?
hard mode
Because it was
gave me.
harder.
I hate you.
I'm
Morgan.
asking. I'm asking.
No,
What did hard mode?
because it makes you actually strategize. You can't just go in gun blazing and you win. You gotta.
Okay.
They actually made it almost like a turn base in a way.
Mm,
Because
okay.
you need to be invested in which ability to use. You can't just spam magic and win.
Uh,
Like I hardly
I've
ever
seen
use.
multiple people die in that game on some bullshit just just on normal mode. So saying that you can't do that that you could do that on normal mode and not die is bullshit. That game will definitely fucking kill you.
Yeah, but if you spam a lot of magic, healing
Not
items,
spam.
you're not gonna die. Not on
I was
normal
like,
mode.
Bro,
At least not for
I
me.
think you are severely underestimated. I've
Hmm.
seen multiple people play Final
Okay,
Fantasy VII Remake and die repeatedly on some bullshit. And they were
okay.
spamming as much as they could because the cooldown window was up at the time and then they couldn't heal and
Mm.
then yeah, I think you're overly obsessed with the way you were forced to play in hard mode, and while that's cute, uh
Oh man.
You
you
hate
know,
it. I know.
yeah,
I
I
know.
don't
You hate
I
it.
like I said, to me that is the opposite of what you're saying, because to me what the strength in turn base is the fact that you have multiple strategies to deploy. When you are forced to play one of five ways, that is reducing like the actual freedom of choice and your ability as a strategist to go forward and pick the correct way to do something on your own, because it's only done one of five ways. So they're literally reducing the
Mm,
outcomes. That's like taking chess and turning it into checkers. Like
okay.
it's the opposite. So, yeah.
Okay.
But I get you. I'm not
Morgan.
saying you're wrong
Yeah.
for enjoying it, but I
No,
get you.
it's not my own opinion and my own experience. That's why.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's
Morgan.
Morgan, aka Chill Bandit. You know, you can find me on Twitter, as I will never call it X. And
It's X, damn it.
no, fucking X. All right. Um, but yeah, you'll find me on Twitter, posting about, games that I'm actually, buying and playing. That's a rarity out here. But yes, I'm playing games. Um, we'll be here with you
Selfie
guys
video.
next week after the Final Fantasy State of Play,
Oh yeah.
and we'll get to see some rebirth deliciousness, and it should be great. I do think we're gonna get a demo. That should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about this year and its stacked gaming. But
Uh,
see you guys next week.
Peace.
Morgan,
Yep.
thank you for coming through. Shout out to you. Weeb, Mr. Yakuza, wherever we can find you.
You can also find me on Twitter because yes, we do not call it X here. As Infinite Rhizome as the week
Elon
share.
Musk, anti Elon Musk, I see.
Well, that's
All day
the
long.
default position.
I'm joking,
So
Mm.
continue.
yeah. And yeah, I mean, so yeah, we'll await the rebirth showcase, and then we will see that like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is a superior game. And
Mm-hmm.
Other Nation.
Outer Nation.
Auto donation it is. And finally, but not least, Innate, where people can find you.
Yeah, on Twitter at the real Nate. Uh, as Morgan said, out here playing games, unlike some people, and actually
I don't
completing
believe you.
them, unlike some
Every time
people.
you lie. I don't know. I
You
don't know how you
know,
can get away with it.
hey, look, I'm doing my Phil Spencer thing. Let it ride.
Oh
Um,
man. Oh.
but yeah, enjoying these games, and shortly, you won't find me on Twitter because I'm about to find something to eat. Peace.
Enjoy your food. Me too. As for me, people can find me on Caraba underscore job on Twitter and Vitamin G podcast every Monday, 8 p.m. into 10 time. Look, guys, this was a fantastic show. Shout out for Ine for the new format. I think the show have improved quite a bit. There was some issues here and there to this year, this week. Um, Other than that, shout out to Nelson for coming through. I know he's been busy and stuff like that. And yeah, see you next week after the greatness that's gonna be